BSTV fans, and welcome to the much delayed week 2 of BSTV's TCR Challenge Cup Season 17 at Navarra Speed Circuit. What did you say?
I lost your sound for a second.
Oh, did you? Oh, let's not do that
but
again.
not to worry, because I'm seeing in crystal 3D.
Oh, brilliant. In that case, that's all worth it then. I am Pete Bingham, and I'm joined in the booth yet again, and thankfully, by Sir Alan Toon. Good evening.
Good evening, folks. Yes, we've been slightly delayed tonight. There's been all kinds of track conditions and problems, but Pete and the merry volunteers of the league have been dealing with it as best they can. And we're happy to be here.
Yeah, many thanks to Jamie Wilson, to Sam Blease, and to Simon Trendle for figuring out what was wrong. So this track has a glitch on it, which no doubt iRacing will patch at some point, but it would have stopped at least 2 people from competing at all. So we've had to work around the issue. We think we've found the source of the problem. Well, I didn't. I'm too stupid for that. But the other guys in the fellowship found the issue, and we've launched not 1 but 2 sessions because it reset some bits that we didn't want. So here we are at Navarra. It's a brand new circuit, and it's free on the iRacing service. Occasionally we get these gifts, don't we, Alan?
Yes, it's a considerable gift because it's an absolutely cracking track when it's working properly.
It is. You're absolutely right, and we have got more than 16 races in. It's just that they've joined the session very recently, and therefore the session is still getting going, and they're still putting laps on. Qualifying will launch in just 1 minute. It's going to be a manual launch from one of the guys who's in the session with admin rights. And then we will get into qualifying. Qualifying will be lone qualifying for this session. Lone qualifying. It's going to be a little bit boring for you as a viewer, but it's the only way that we calculated we could get around the issue with the track. We didn't want to change the track back to the official, which would have been Watkins Glen, because people had put in some quality hours into this track. At the moment, in this little practice session, we've got Pete Newman with a good time, 1:48.13. I don't know what a good time is on this track. I don't know that anybody does at the minute because I've not been in it long enough. But never mind. David Johansson's currently got the fastest of the times in a 1:47.896. Maybe he can convert that into something special in the race. But we'll talk through some other developments because we've had a couple of sign-ups, but only one of them's joined this session at least. I don't think he's on track. Oh, he's behind that big sign there, the bridge. We'll come back to him later. Where else? Another one signed up today, which was Jan Hilden, but he's not joined us just yet. He's got his iRacing invite, and there's another one sat in the background as well, and I can't remember what his name is. Also has an invite, not accepted it yet. They don't always join, but we hope that they do, because the more the merrier, right, Alan?
Well, yeah, and there's been quite a lot of new blood into the league in recent times, off the back of the guys going out and racing in the official races. I think really largely, and just demonstrating how good they are and who wouldn't want to race with them. So yeah, it's attracted quite a lot of people to us, and that's great, isn't it?
It is, and both our leagues are attracting good numbers at the moment. Even in this session, I think there's at least 30 drivers. We will know that once they've all qualified, obviously, if indeed they do try and qualify.
Solo qualifying, Pete. That's a big shift. 1 week only. Enjoy it, lads, because you don't do that very often, do you?
No, not at all. I'm hoping that one of them trips the session over in the next few seconds. Otherwise, I might have to do it myself. In fact, should I go and figure out if they're gonna do it? Who knows? I better go and check if they're going to do that or not. I'm going to be back in a second.
All right, you go. I'm just watching Jay going up there. And
there we go. It's all right. They've done it.
Yeah, it's pretty cars. Some very nice liveries out there. It's such a splash of colour when they kick off going off in the grid. It's these large grids.
Yeah.
And the absolute psychedelic beautiful liveries. It's a spectacular sight. I love those camera shots you get as they come pouring away.
Right then, so this is not going to be a feature for the eyes, folks, but it gets the job done. Let's see. We'll start on Stefan. So this is what you're going to see. For those of you that have never watched a solo qualifying time, we're going to go and find out where he's gone. Where's he gone? There he is. So we're going to watch Stefan. He's the first one out of the box. And they are going to... That's an unusual line, but we'll give it him because he's probably going to be warming
We'll
the
go in the
tyres.
cockpit then.
Oh,
You
right,
come and
okay.
get in the
Yeah, that's a
cockpit.
good idea. Why didn't I think of that? Let's go in the... We don't often get in the cockpit of the Audi, so let's do it. Here we are. So no other cars on track. If we trip between cars, you'll see that they're on different points on the track.
Look, these corners are really wicked.
They are. You can probably talk me around this better because when I loaded a practice session the other night, it was raining in the session and I got no practice
Yes,
done.
it was raining when I was there.
Was it really? Right, okay.
Yes.
It's just horrendous.
It came out with, you know, with all that Ferrari excitement about the rain. It's a wonder I'm not rusty, actually.
Yeah.
I've been driving
let's
in.
get a different view. So this is Stefan's view coming round halfway around the track we are at the minute. Let me see if I can get a track map up. It won't show you where he is yet because he needs to complete a full lap before he can do that. They're only going to get 3 laps and it's only going to last for 10 minutes. So it's one shot this time. No 15 minutes and as many laps as you can do. This is 10 minutes and 3 laps maximum. So we'll wait for him to get round the end of this track. I don't know if this track has got corner names, has it, Alan? I've no idea. I've never even looked.
Not me neither.
That's pit lane entry on the right there. I do know that because I slid
It's
down.
certainly a handful, and it's a good idea. I'm glad people have been putting the time in because it really needs it. It's not a place you can just rock up to at the last minute and expect to do well.
So,
it does require a bit of time and effort at this spot.
Yeah, so Stefan hurls it down the start-finish straight. It's kind of heavy braking, and well, it's not, is it? The first one's a bit of a kink, isn't it? But it's a bit of a brutal.
But it's
kink.
deceiving. It's a bit deceiving, and it comes round to another real short right-hander here.
Yeah, let's have this one. So he's done that one nicely, actually. That's very
tidy. Again, you need good exit from there because that sets you up for this whole sequence. These are fast sections, and they're really fun to drive.
Yeah, I don't know how competitive the Audi is. People have been saying that the Civic is a pig around this track this week, and that the Elantra is the car to be in.
Yes. So
let's see.
I can believe it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And then we make our way down here towards this quite sharp 90-degree right-hander, which takes us onto what we can consider to be the back straight. We've got a very sharp right-hander at the end of this straight, so heavy on the braking, probably at the 100 board, which is just behind us now. And then tip it in, get a big bag of curb on that one. You're going to go round to the right here before we get a very sharp left-hander, and I think this is where one of the pit boxes ended up, which was the issue. It might be a different corner. It might be this one, actually. Let's
bad place for it because it's a really technical section through there.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely on a left-hand turn, which is where pit box 17 was supposed to be. Then you've got this right-hander. There's the pit lane entry on the right-hand side there. Stefan's obviously going to bypass that. Tip it into this very fast left-hander and then get heavy on the brakes for a hairpin bend to get us back onto the start-finish straight.
Yeah, look at that camera as well. It's beautiful.
Isn't it just? It's a really nice lap, actually, from Stefan. Very tidy, very well managed. Let's go on board with... let's watch. Where's he gone? All right, Jamie, where have you gone? Jamie there. No, that's Jamie Jeffrey. I want Jamie Wilson. Why can't I find Jamie Wilson? No, there he is. It's all right, I found him. I'm just going to turn this on. You can see his inset picture on this one as he tries to wrestle that Elantra around.
Yes, unfamiliar sight in the Elantra.
Yeah, bit of a challenge. Simon Trendle posting the only pro lap so far, 148.473. Oh no, here's a few more coming through now. There's David Johansson with his sub 48. That's good.
Yes. I think 47's a good time though.
Yeah. Silas is on the chat there, shouting for Stefan. So we got an entire lap of qualifying with Stefan, and a bit more actually. Cutting Corny are on the chat there as well. So Rene is here. He's in 10th place at the moment, representing CCT very, very well. Dietmar is a little bit further back in 15th, but not too much further back. You can see the numbers coming up, folks. 23 cars are posted at a time. We have 29 cars, I think, in the session, which is very healthy for us. Especially on a brand new track. It often puts people off, and there's a few people with real life commitments tonight, Alan.
Well, sometimes these things happen, Pete, and they have to divest themselves of the wonderful realm of iRacing and pay attention to the kids and such like things.
Yeah. I'll just put your interval times up, folks, and you can see just how close it is between all the
I
cars.
can read them this week, Pete. I'm absolutely made up here, mate. It's like as clear as bell.
Awesome. I've still got Jamie in the insert picture there. I'll take that away, and then you can at least see what's going on, folks. It is a really nice track. It's just got one massive glitch that iRacing need to get rid of, which is it puts P17's pit box on the corner of one of the turns, and therefore won't service the car and won't let them join the session, which is a massive issue, to be honest.
I imagine that's why we didn't notice. I doubt we went anywhere near 70. I think there's probably no more than 6 of us here.
Yeah. Right.
So we wouldn't necessarily notice, would we?
No, right. That must be Dietmar, all sorted out for his 3 laps. There's other cars still turning laps, and they've still got 4 minutes worth of qualifying to do.
Well, a lap to get your tyres feeling nice, and then a couple of laps to actually pedal to the metal and see how you do.
Yeah, we've got we've got a PVG. Where's PVG? Where's he gone? There he is. Currently in 5th.
Currently 5th, yes. And interesting spread of green tonight.
Yes, and we've got a TVG on the chat, which is I'm assuming this is how you pronounce your name, Thijs van Gool. We can only assume it's a relative, right? Or someone that's such a fan that they've even changed their surname. PVG's his uncle, right? Okay, right. Okay, brilliant. Who's not posted a time? There's a few people finished already. You can see them there in pit lane. Stephen Walker, Martin, Daniel, and Dietmar. Where is New Boy? Where's he gone? Roy Mitchell. So I want to see this paint because we've not seen this one up close before, Alan.
Ooh, look at that.
Well, I need a camera that's nearer than 16
There,
miles away. There
Come
we
on.
go. That's a nice paint.
Oh, what? Yeah.
It's very distinctive. I like that.
Yeah, not flash, very nicely tasteful. I like tasteful paint. I mean, there's room for garish and in your eyeballs, isn't there? Eyeball melting liveries, but you don't want a vast majority of them. It turns into a Picasso.
It does, and this is Single Cell Motorsport. This is a new team to the league. So they missed out on the first week, but that's fine because we get drop weeks in this
It's
series.
one of the ones, right? Single Cell Motorsport.
Yeah, here's our
Great
champion.
name.
Here's our reigning champion, Spencer McCarthy. Sporting the number 1 car number. Currently in 3rd, but on a fast lap, on a hot lap.
And he's pushing on there. Look at that. You can tell. His car has attitude when he's pushing on. You can tell.
Yeah. Let's see if he's sticking.
Very little left on the track, is there? It's everything is right to the max.
And he does it with panache and very much a lot of calm and cool, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's very under control, the whole thing. It's an enviable thing, but very beautiful to watch, and I'm glad that people can do it.
Yeah.
It gives me a great deal of pleasure, and I'm sure anybody who's watching this tonight will appreciate the grace and how good these drivers are. They really are terrific drivers.
Absolutely. Jay Corley pulls up after finishing his 3rd lap. Jamie Wilson's still going and looking to improve on the time. He's got green sectors all the way across this lap, so you can only assume that this is going to be his best. Or has he already done it? He's already done it.
Oh, he's done it.
Yeah. So 18th for Jamie Wilson. Right, we must be ready to trip over. Obviously, people have to tell the session that they are done. And we've gone back to scenic viewing. So you can see the differences, folks, in the times on the right-hand side there. Those orange numbers show that certain people are 0 seconds away from others. Roy Mitchell and Christopher Smith there, 15th and 16th, separated by nothing at all. A few very close times. Jamie Jeffrey separated from nothing with Spencer McCarthy. Right. Oh, there we go. We are into Heat 1. So I'm going to go to grid. This should be, in theory, normal running, folks, from this point on. So David Johansen will lead the field away, a very, very handsome time.
Yeah.
That was his first lap out, believe it or not, 147.914. And nearly 0.2 behind is Pete Newman, with Spencer McCarthy reigning champion in third, Jamie Jeffrey in fourth, Wobbly in fifth, Sam Blees in sixth, Simon Trendle in seventh, ex-champion, same as Sam Blees. Pete Van Gool in 8th, Rene Earhart in 9th, Stephen Walker, another ex-champion, in 10th, Martin Shirley in 11th, Daniel Mills in 12th, 13th is Jay Corley. He's struggled to do his qualifying this season, hasn't he, Alan?
Yes, he has been notable. For not great qualifying, but it's all there in the race, isn't he?
It is, yeah, absolutely right. Cal Hardy in 14th, the Pie Man. Roy Mitchell in 15th, his first race with us. Christopher Smith in 16th. 17th is Stefan. Jamie Wilson in 18th. And Matthias Schultz in 19th. David Danzer in 20th. Jura Larkinen in 21st. Boyd Driesen in 22nd. Anthony Hilton in 23rd. Dietmar Hoos in 24th. 25th is Arnaud Chenonnier. I've lost my line. There we go. 26th, Chris Needham, another ex-champion of this series. 27th, Roger Morton. Chris Dixon is in 28th. And Fiona is in 29th. 29 cars on the grid. I'm going to go and find us a decent camera with which to view this wonderful field. We need to get cameras on.
Good qualification by David and Pete to get in front of that trio.
It is, and we are ready to go racing, folks. If that's PVG, I'm going to have to deduct you 1,000 points for flashing your lights. Right, lights are coming on, folks, and we are about to go racing at Navarra in our first race there, and we are... Oh, they held them for a while, and now they're gone. So, we are racing.
Who stayed awake on the lights? That's the question.
Green flag.
That was a hold, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was a hold. It would have made people have to reset their brain.
Yeah. So just to remind you, this will be a 20-minute race with no stops required. We will break for 5 minutes as these guys sort themselves out here and try and navigate these first few corners without crashing. And in the second of tonight's races, there will be no pit stop tonight, folks, because of that pit box issue. It would penalise the driver in P17. There is no driver in P34 because we've not quite got that many cars. As PVG wants to try and go around the outside of Jamie Jeffrey. Never thought I'd say those words because Jamie Jeffrey is such a fast driver, and I've been told that the Honda's a pig, and apparently not in the hands of PVG, at least not yet. So we won't have a pit stop in the feature race, the 40-minute feature race, and it looks to me, Alan, like David Johansen is starting to check out.
Yes. Now, that's not easy. He's got Pete behind him, and getting a second in him in one lap, in the early lap, that's not easily done. So that just demonstrates the early pace that David's got here. That's very dangerous. We know that people get away on this sprint race, 20-minute race. If you get away with a good start, it's very hard to catch you.
Yeah, PVG is doing a fantastic job at the minute. Ooh, we're 3 wide round that corner. My God, that's a tight corner as well. Pete Van Gool was the meat in that sandwich, absolutely. Lots of battling further back, but we can't look away from this because now Stephen Walker's got involved in this. What was a 3-way battle is now a 4 round goes PVG.
Oh, so unlucky.
It is. We'll have another quick look at that in a minute, but there's more going on at the back.
I hope his car's okay. Come on, Pete.
Yeah, he needs to get
You're
back.
You're doing terribly well there.
Doesn't look like too much damage, but the damage model on these cars is a bit random, isn't it?
Yes. Fingers crossed he's okay because he was right in the thick of it, and his driving has been outstanding. Last week he was absolutely on fire, wasn't he, as well?
He was. Yeah.
Plenty of time. Good purple patch for him, and yeah.
Plenty of time for a comeback, and if he's not in pit box 17, then he should be able to pit the car and fast repair if he needs to, but it didn't look like there was that much contact. There was almost more
No,
contact with Stephen
no,
after the fact.
more of a rolling contact, wasn't it? There
Yeah.
wasn't a big impact there, so we can keep our fingers crossed that he's still functioning nicely.
Yeah, Jamie Jeffrey
This is
and
tight. I
I
mean, look at
know.
this. You know, they're absolutely cheap by Zhao on this
Woo!
track. It's a narrow, racy circuit with some really nice, tasty corners on it.
It is.
And you need to get great exits because they've got some substantial straights here. As you can see, you know, this is really going to stretch out the
Yeah.
Civics, isn't it?
Boyd Dreesen. Jamie Jeffrey must have some sort of issue.
Oh no!
Slow down, mate. No, he's parked
Oh
it.
no! He's had to stop.
No. Oh,
Oh,
there's
come on,
something
Jamie,
going on.
what's the matter?
Oh, he's let PVG go. Oh, wow, fantastic.
Oh goodness me!
Right. You can't buy better sportsmanship than that, folks. That's stunning.
That's just fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. When did we hire a drummer? So, Jamie Wilson in the thick of things. I should point out, your fastest man on track is none other than David Johansen. He's pulled 1.7 seconds, that's what that gap looks like, over Pete Newman. And Pete Newman's got
Spencer
Spencer.
McCarthy and Sam Blees and wobbly kneecaps and Simon Trendle. Now,
Simon
putting 1.5
Trendle's-
seconds on these chaps is that is tough.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think there's many laps gone under the David Johansen belt this time. Oh, actually, we've got a few cars in pit road. Quite a few cars in pit road. Good grief. So Fiona's just rolled in as well. So Jamie Jeffrey, Pete Van Gool, and it's Chris Dixon. Sorry, my apologies to Fee. I got the wrong work guard car. Oh, here we go. Spencer has decided that Pete Newman is his favourite new target, and he's brought Sam Blees with him, like you've observed already, Alan.
Yeah, they Spencer and Pete have been building up a nice friendly rivalry.
Yes.
Something to relish, to be honest.
Right.
And we're seeing this week after week. Their time is they're so close. It's just bringing them together in the races every time, and we're getting these little intriguing little battles between them, which is well, it's very entertaining. You've got to say. Look at his Roger. This is hot stuff. These guys aren't laying off, and this is a real. You know, it's got technical sections. This gives you a chance to demonstrate a bit of skill, and there's plenty of talent out on this circuit tonight.
Absolutely, there is. So this is Roger Morton fighting with Jura Larkinen. He's the one in the BSTV Council colours. I'm just going to go and check and make sure he hasn't already uploaded a paint. I didn't have a chance to upload the paint. Paint packs this evening because of all the other stuff going on with the track itself. So just let me go and double check to see if he has uploaded a paint, and I'll get that on the car for the second of tonight's races. Where's Jura on here? Jura. Oh, he has, right. Oh, yes, of course. Right, we're going to have to definitely load that up in a minute.
Cool.
I'll do that in the warm-up session in between these
Yeah,
two
well, it's
races.
fair enough because we've had a bit of a crisis, haven't we? To start up the evening. You know,
yeah.
things have been delayed, and as usual, the community come together, and you've worked it through, and we're racing.
Yes, we are. And David Johansen is racing faster than everybody else at the moment. He's now nearly 3 seconds ahead of this group.
Look at it, 3 seconds, and that's just amazing. And of course, now with Pete Spencer, look at this. I mean, this isn't going to make them chase David, is it? They've got its eyes in the mirrors.
Yeah.
I mean, look what you've got coming up your exhaust pipe. Goodness me, terrifying sight.
Arnaud Chenonnier having a real good look at Matthias
Oh,
Schultz.
this is great. Look at that. I'm back there. 1967 on flower powered. Look at that.
I know, yeah. It's eye-watering pink, isn't it?
Reminds me of
when you look away, it's still there.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Oh no, a bit wide on that one. He's going to open the door here for Chris Needham to shuffle through. He's the other one in the council colours. I need to sort that out.
These guys are all in tight lines, you know. They're not giving much away, are they?
No, they're not. Back at the front here, it was getting a bit tasty there between Spencer and Pete Newman. Just for a second. So flying through these corners, I'm just going to do some work in the background.
Simon, he's just getting slightly dropped off a bit, and
Yeah.
he hasn't found his pace yet. I don't think in the
No.
car at the moment. Otherwise, he wouldn't be getting dropped off. That's for sure.
Yeah, agree.
He spent all that time learning the V8.
Oh, look how close Spencer is now. Oh, nearly pushing him around those corners.
Yeah, well, you know, I think Spencer's probably got the edge, but it's so difficult when you're against somebody like Pete who can hold his line and defend so in depth.
Yes.
But you know, Spencer has got his magic spring that catapults him forward and gives him half a car length out of nowhere. It's magical to watch. So, but to do that magic, you need the other guy to actually give you an inch to manoeuvre in, and that is tough because Pete is a wily old campaigner.
Yes, he is. He's very capable. Back to Arnaud Chenonnier and Matthias Schult. Still going on, still side by side. And not resolved yet. And oh, that was a good outbreak in there from Matthias, and Arnaud's gone wide again. So it's back to where it was at the same point in the last lap. So that one's going to burn on for a while, I think, Alan.
Yeah, look at these beautiful sections. Look at the corners they're going around. It's a very testing circuit. No mind's trying to overtake, just keeping you on the track and watching, not avoiding the sand, avoiding issues, and yeah, there's plenty to keep your hands for, and then you're absolutely crowded. These cars are crowded together.
Yeah, the group here is quite intense actually. Should I try and do the paint now? No, I'll wait till the intermission.
No, wait till the end of the race. Don't turn his eyes funny.
Oh, there we go. That was... Oh, Anthony! Oh, dear. Nearly.
Ooh.
Right, okay, so further forward here. So this is a delayed Stephen Walker at the back of this little trio. Obviously, he was in that crash earlier. So he's further back in the field than he would hope to be at this point. You can see how far out of kilter he is, along with Jay Corley and obviously Jamie Jeffrey and Pete Van Gool right down the bottom of the standings there as Jura and Arnaud Chenonnier get it on. Arnaud Chenonnier has been in every battle so far, I think.
He drove brilliant last week and won both his rate classification races. So
yeah,
he's having a really good start to the season. It's great to see.
Yeah, the Air Smart Racing boys are sorting themselves out.
Yeah, well, they had terrible ill fortune last season. It's very nice to see them getting to the end of the races a bit.
Yeah. So at the moment, it looks like a flag-to-flag for David Johansson, unless something dramatic goes wrong somewhere.
Not the first one we've seen. It's a scenario we're familiar with, aren't we?
Yes, yeah. And the chasing group is now split into two pairs. So this is Pete Newman and Spencer. And behind we've got Wobbly and Sam. Wobbly already has said that the Honda is horrible to drive here. Simon Trundle getting familiar with the car again after having 2 seasons out. And then we drop back to Rene Earhart for cutting Corney in 7th. He's up 2 positions from his start position. I think they were gifted by Jamie Jeffrey and Pete Van Gool. So he's on the chase, as is the car behind him, Martin Shirley for RD Simsport. There are 2 RD Simsport cars. The other one is Christopher Smith, which is this one here, the Audi in your screen. Not many Audis in the series this season, Alan. Only 2 of them. Sorry, 3 of them. My sincere apologies here to
well, that's a presence. At least they can claim a presence.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, they've got a bit of loyalty from some drivers, and that's good to see. But we don't want them to be excluded. That's for sure. They've always got something to offer the Audi. Some circuits, they're absolutely the bee's knees of car, and they perform brilliantly. So. They'll... Oh, look at this. I mean...
Oh, no, having a quick look, showing his...
look before this corner. Look at the way these corners loop round, Pete. It's
I know.
absolutely
It's a lovely
fantastic.
track. It really is.
Yeah.
I hadn't appreciated it in the rainy practice session that I was in. All I was trying to do was not crash. Um,
Yes.
but you can
That's.
see in the timing tower there. Look how deep into the pro am group Arnaud Chenonnier is. Last season he was fighting it out within the am category. This season he's fought his way clear, hasn't he?
Yes. No. And you know that the pro-am's an incredibly competitive section. They really are a very competitive bunch. There's some fast drivers in there.
Yeah.
There is, and yeah,
So I'm going to
well,
answer.
they're doing great, and it's good to see.
I'm going to very quickly answer the question that came through. Why do some of them have different colour boards? So, if you are a pro driver, i.e., you are very experienced in the car, you have a very high I rating in sports car class, you will have blue boards with white writing, as is the case here for Mr. David Johansson. You will also have a blue windscreen banner with white writing. If you have been a previous champion to this series, such as the case with Spencer McCarthy, our reigning champion, you will have blue boards as per usual, but you will have yellow writing. It's more difficult to see on the cameras on this track because the cameras are all miles away. You'll have yellow writing on a blue background. If you are in the Pro-Am class, so you've got experience, let's go for the Pie Man himself, Carl Hardy, more obvious on the white car of the council colours. You will have green boards with white writing. If you find any green boards with yellow writing, as is the case of Chris Needham, he is an ex-champion to the series. He's in that Elantra there, so he's got yellow writing on his green boards. And then the AM class are the developing drivers. Let's find Fee, which will be an orange number board, orange windscreen banner, and black writing. These guys have got lower I ratings generally. And are developing their racing skills. We changed the way that this was all split over the last couple of seasons. We've introduced Pro-Am and then, we introduced Pro and Am 2 seasons ago, and then we introduced Pro-Am as a middle category at the start of this season. So we can split them up into their class standings on the left-hand side there, and you can see the gaps between them. Pro-Am is the larger category. It always really will be, I guess.
Yeah, they're quality drivers.
They are.
And they win races. These are all regular race winners and if you're doing official iRacing, there are plenty of race winners in that large pile.
Yes.
And probably most of the AM category are all top 10 finishers as well in so even though they're at the bottom of the ladder here, there's bags of experience among them, and they would all perform. They wouldn't be at the bottom of the ring if they were in iRacing official races. They would be shooting from the hip and getting top 10 finishes regularly, probably top 5. Even I get top 5s because league races, they just don't stack up the points.
No, yeah, exactly. This is starting to heat up back here. Hopefully that answers the questions there for... I'm going to go with Thijs van Gool, TVG, to go with his uncle PVG. PVG, second on last at the minute, making his way through the field in the timing tower there. He's got a bit of a journey to get to where Fee is at the moment. But this is where all the battling is, and also up here. So Spencer is not letting Pete Newman go, and they are both... Oh, here we go. This is it. Spencer's had enough. He wants through now. These guys are so skilled at racing next to one another. And these two particularly, they're winding each other up now, and they are closing on David Johansson ahead. They were 0.3 faster than him. Both of them were in the last lap. And Spencer McCarthy around the outside of Pete Newman. What on earth?
There you go. You see his spring loading there.
Yeah,
it's just amazing to watch.
That was sensational work, that.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the best overtakes I've seen in many races, to be honest. That was just too good.
It was a beauty. It was a beauty. Pete had to give it best, and he was trying very hard, and he's, a very highly rated driver, and yeah, that was just sheer class by Spencer.
Yeah.
Our
Wobbly.
reigning champion, and there you go.
I
That's
know.
why.
He's got a bit of a job on now to catch the leader, David Johansen, but he might have a go. He's not got long to do it. Probably a couple of
No, a
laps.
couple of minutes.
Yeah.
A couple of minutes. It's going to be a struggle there, but yeah, he pulled that off, and that was a beautiful overtake. And Pete will be taking his hat off at that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Christopher Smith for RD Simsport is leading this crew, which has got Jamie Wilson as the second car in the queue, and you can see his inset picture there. As he closes right up on the back of that Audi into that sharp right-hander there. Runs it out onto the green bit and then gets the car to the right-hand side of the track in order to take the next corner. Audi's actually pretty good through some of these corners, looking at this. But a bit of a train forming here. I'm just going to see if we can see any flags being waved at the moment. We should see it in the top of the screen in a second. There we go. White flag is being waved, Alan.
Yeah, Barney's got woken up, and for once we noticed, Pete.
Yeah, I know. Shocking, isn't it? We're going to have to go back to this group because this is where the action is. Look at Roy Mitchell going over those curves. That's brilliant. Nice.
Holding nothing back. It's brilliant. Yeah.
That's Jay Corley just behind him, and Stefan's at the back of this little group. Roger Morton, my word, up 9 positions from his start position.
Roger.
Chris Needham behind him is up 7. And Arno up 5.
Driving.
Yeah, good performances.
Well, you know, these guys are no mugs. They're absolutely very, very good drivers. And we've seen Roger performing right at the sharp end last season, and he certainly didn't disgrace himself.
No,
he held
definitely
up
not.
some very, very good drivers with a lot of skill.
Oh, Matthias. You are joking. You were having such a good race.
Oh, that's a shame at this stage of the game to lose paces. It's hard to get them back.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that in a minute, but we've got other overtakes going on at the moment. So this is
It's
Carl
got
Hardy.
busy, hasn't it? Look at this.
Carl Hardy fighting here with Daniel Mills, trying to make this work, and I think he's managed to get this done. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe he has. Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, he has. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Look at that.
And here comes David Johansen to lead the field over the line. They did cut his time down to 1.8. Whether he was just coasting at the end there, I'm not sure.
Well, that was a fine race by David. He set the marker. He got the pole position, and then just used his pace, drove away.
Yeah.
Was really in trouble throughout the whole thing. But behind him.
Oh my God! Look at that pile of cars coming round that corner there.
There was much to talk about.
Yes.
Because it was absolutely frantic, wasn't it?
It was. Jamie Wilson's inset picture there, picking up him coming through all these final corners further back. Where is he? There.
Oh, do you like that car? Lovely livery.
Yeah, very nice. Good performance. Right then.
Guys, that was fantastic racing.
It was. I think we were still racing right to the line there with Euro Larkinen and Arno Chenonnier. Very cool bit of racing. Anybody still going? Yeah, a couple. Fiona's just over the line. PVG is just seen the back of Chris Dixon recently. Chris sticking with him.
Yeah, because he'll be tucked in trying to get a bit of tow.
Yeah.
Plus,
PVG would have hoped for much better, but that crash right at the start did for him.
Yeah, it was a shame.
I'd go back.
He's been driving terribly well, so
yeah.
he'll be. I expect he'll do quite well in the big race because he won't get promoted. He'll get reverse gridded somewhere, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. Right, let's have a look at Heat 1's results before we need to reset the paints. Oh, crikey. Right, David Johansen, flag-to-flag victory. Got all the points in that one. I think he got fastest lap as well for Sim Racing Grid with Spencer McCarthy in second for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Pete Newman was in third there for Results X Pure Sims Esports. Sam Blees in fourth for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. I need to change this next one because Wobbly no longer drives for BSTV. He drives for Spectre 6 now. Yeah. Simon Trendle in sixth there for Team Chimera. Seventh and first of the Pro-Am cars over the line for Cutting Corny TCR team is Rene Earhart, so congratulations to him. Second in class, Martin Shirley in eighth for RD Simsport. Very good performance.
Another great performance by Martin.
Very good, yeah, brilliant. And a podium in Pro-Am for Carl Hardy, ninth for Safeguard by result. Daniel Mills was 10th. Stephen Walker, 11th, much delayed after that crash at the start for Spectre 6. Christopher Smith in 12th for RD Simsports. Jamie Wilson in 13th. We saw lots of him battling there in his inset picture. For Team Chimera, Roy Mitchell was 14th for Single Cell Motorsports and had a great series of battles. Jay Corley, 15th for Result X Pure Sims Esports. Stefan Goebel in 16th for VTS Esports. Dimar Hoos, 17th for Cutting Corny TCR team. Roger Morton finished 18th for Safeguard. He's usually a bit higher up this season, isn't he? 19th was Chris Needham for Air Smart Racing. And the first of the AM cars over the line, Arno Chenonnier. Congratulations for Air Smart Racing. Jura Larkinen in 21st. Anthony Hilton was second in class for AM in 22nd for Mellow Motorsports. David Danza, 23rd. Jamie Jeffrey, much delayed, 24th for Coupes and Convertibles Racing, with Boyd Driesen on the third step of the AM podium for DB Quasi Racing in 25th. 26th was Fiona for Workguard. Matthias Schultz was 27th for TITZ Performance. Let's just call it that, shall we? PVG finished in 28th, very much delayed for Result X Pure Sims. And then 29th was Chris Dixon for Workguard. Right. We are going to go to what we're going to go
All
to.
finished.
All finished. All finished.
All finished. Very nice. And wow, it was some kind of a race.
Yeah, it was. It was good. Right, let's find Spencer on track. He's going to nip out. I'm going to do a little bit of this. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Let me just do this for a second.
Oh.
So
What mysterious thing are you doing?
Yes.
Pete's brain has backfired. We will be back shortly. That's exciting, Pete.
Yeah. That was just so that I didn't disturb your viewing pleasure, folks. While I reset everybody's paints. So everybody should be in the right teams. I'm just going to do a bit more because I need to reset Wobbly's team with all the other chaos. I never got to do that before. So he now drives for... Now, I don't know whether it's the number or the letters. Let me find Stephen. Oops. Right, it's the numbers. Right, okay, Wobbly. Don't want that one. We want numbers. There we go. Okay. So that should have changed that now, and we can go back to normal running. Just while we're here, we're going to show you what they're fighting for,
There was another
folks.
one you wanted to do as well, wasn't there?
Was
One
there?
of the new drivers.
I did the paint on him. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well done.
Well, I'm assuming I did.
Well, you said halfway through the race you were going to do it at now.
Yeah. Oh, I've done it. Yes, it was
Yes.
Jura. So let me.
Oh, there's a lovely trophies, Pete.
I know. The one on the right
Very
is what
beautiful.
this series is racing for. The Season 17 Champions Trophy. They are made of tree. So they have probably got a lot of carbon footprint. I don't really know. They're definitely the plastic on the front of it. But they are beautiful trophies. Yeah, we've moved up since the plastic fantastic over the last 2 seasons. Even though they seem to be well received, those plastic trophies.
Yeah.
So,
well, but these are very ecologically balanced.
I would say so, yes. So, Jura is no longer in the council colours. He's now in the Jurassic Park, Jura.
Yeah, look at that.
It's cool, isn't it?
Well, that's very reggae, baby.
Yeah, it certainly is, yeah. A very nice paint. And he's parking it because they are about to run into our feature race in 8 seconds. Everybody else's paint should all be sorted out by now.
Have you looked at Wobbly?
He's not on track, so I'll have to do that in the second race. So don't forget, folks, we are not going to have a pit stop in this feature race. Pete Van Gool's got a crying face on the chat. I'm not surprised. Oh, good evening to Craig Jones on the chat.
Oh, hello, sweetie.
Yeah, it's been a while since he's been in there. Or either that, or just not.
You know, his ceiling fell on him.
Oh, what?
He's in Egypt.
Right, did I hear you right?
Yes, he was in the room where his rig is. The ceiling fell in.
Oh dear. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. I need to do a bit of that. So Jay Corley will lead us away in this feature race. Don't forget, no pit stop. I say it so many times. Roy Mitchell will go off on the front row for his second race with us. Jamie Wilson will go off third. Fourth will be Chris Smith. Stephen Walker will go off fifth. Daniel Mills will go off sixth. Seventh will be Carl Hardy. Eighth will be Martin Shirley. Renee Earhart will go off ninth. 10th will be Simon Trendle. 11th will be Wobbly, hopefully in the right paint this time. 12th will be Sam Blees. Let me move that on. 13th will be Pete Newman. 14th will be Spencer. David Jansen's got to fight his way to the front, thanks to winning the first race from 15th. We do a reverse 15 on this one. 16th will be Stefan. Dietmar Hoos will go off 17th. Roger Morton off 18th. 19th will be Chris Needham. 20th will be Arno Shanonier. Jura Larkinen in his Jurassic Park car will go off 21st. Anthony Hilton off 22nd. 23rd will be David Danza. Jamie Jeffrey will go off 24th and hope that he can get through the field quickly. 25th will be Boyd Driesen. 26th will be Fiona. Matthias Schultz will go off 27th. PVG will go off 28th. Who is that flashing their lights? Stop it, Fee. Chris Dixon will go off 29th, yeah. Okay, so that's everybody accounted for. Let's choose a better camera than that. And that. There we go. Let's get on to this.
Loving these crystal pictures, Pete. Absolutely loving them.
I know. Can you feel like you reach into the screen and touch it?
Yeah.
I've already seen that Chris Needham's paint is how it should be. I don't know where Wobbly is.
I noticed that. It's fantastic. Yeah. Looking beautiful.
Isn't it? I think
distinctive.
Wobbly's in the right paint this time as well. So all our gremlins have been sorted. And we are waiting now for the lights because... oh, here we go. Right, I wonder if it'll hold them for as long as it did the first time, folks. We are focused on Jamie Wilson at the minute, so we'll see how he launches from that second row position. He's done very well, actually. He's already got alongside Roy. But he's blocked in.
Very interesting. You know, there's some very fast drivers in that first...
Oh, Roy's gone. Catch it, mate, catch it. No.
Go on. Oh, yeah, he got hold of that. Should be okay.
Yeah, that's nice. Right, okay. Phew. We don't like to see people disadvantaged like that, do we? We want them to race.
No, certainly not at this time of the race. Goodness, certainly not. And, you know, and we've got to really, to be honest...
Renee, straighten it up, mate.
He'll take it, don't worry.
Oh, dear, it's all going on at the moment. He's back on, though. That's good. Right, keep going. Go on, lad.
Considering the pace they go off at, they really, I do think they do a fantastic job of keeping it together on these early laps of the main race. They're being ultra competitive, but they do try and give each other room. I mean, it's obviously going to go wrong occasionally, but by and large, we have situations like this where they're cheek by jowl, side by side, nothing between them, and people survive.
Yeah, and Wobbly making him... I was going to say making himself a nuisance as Spencer gets right underneath the boot lid of Pete Newman there. I've still got Jamie's.
Of course, they were there with David right behind them. Of course, they chased him the whole of the first race, and now he's right behind them, and they're not going to want to let him by.
No. Wobbly and Spencer are really going at it here. They are side by side. Oh, dear me. An ejected stage right. Oh, gosh. Well, that was heavy.
Oh, no. Oh, that's Pete's car, is it?
Yeah. All right, where's... Oh, Christ.
He got wiped out last night as well. He's really having a lot of luck at the moment. Right. Yeah.
And he's beyond the pit lane. Wobbly had to reset. That's Matthias in the background with broken suspension. He's not having a great race now either. Let's have a look at what happened to him. Oh, I think he must have got into the back of Pete Newman. He probably unsighted.
Yes. Well, that was all a bit unfortunate, but there you go. Look, his car's, they gave it a chance, but he's had to get a tow.
Yeah, he has. Right, back to... we're not on normal running yet. There we are.
Was he trying to shove that up the inside there?
Oh, well, this is Daniel Mills and Stephen Walker going at it.
Wow.
Stephen Walker on the
Of course, we've got
right
that.
now.
That we're going through one of those phases. We've got 2 or 3 new drivers on the grid. They're all sorting themselves out where they fit. You know, these are the times when it can get a little bit sticky occasionally.
Yep.
It always settles down within a couple of weeks, but you know, we do have these settling in periods.
Yeah, Dan McFarlane, murder.
Settling in period, Dan. Settling in period.
Yeah. We'll reword it, shall we? Right. Let's have a quick look at this. So we're gonna go and find Wobbly. Where's Wobbly on here?
Oh goodness me! Oh goodness, that hurt.
It certainly did.
Oh,
and that's what happened to Matthias.
Oh,
Right.
salt in the wound.
Yeah. I don't think there's a straight panel on Pete Newman's car. Yeah.
He did. Oh goodness.
I mean, Wobbly was just a missile, wasn't he?
Well, there wasn't anything he could do.
Here we go.
He probably had his brakes on, but they weren't going to stop him, that's for sure.
No. Oh,
look at that.
Yeah, fully turned and then reversing into...
Brakes on. He's got his brakes on.
Yeah.
But it's not going to stop you.
He reset the car, which is the right thing to do as fast as he could.
Yeah, he got out the way as soon as he could. And, you know, it won't reset till it stops.
No, absolutely.
It'd be great if you could press the button while you're halfway through one of these gymnastics, but it won't let you. You just have to sit and suffer.
After all that damage, he's
still
had
driving
to pit the car. Has he got straight steering or not?
Well, maybe he's trying to drive it in.
Maybe. He's off
the
gas a bit.
I mean,
it's been a bit of a...
Seeing as there's no pit stops this time, he probably wants to avoid it like the plague.
Well, he needs... Yeah, I mean...
If the car's running at all...
The steering looks straight.
That looks straight, doesn't it?
Yeah, where's Sam Blease? He was the one that took the biggest hit on the side when Wobbly came back across the track. I mean, you can see just behind the front right wheel there.
Oh goodness, yeah.
It's absolutely mullered. Yeah.
Well, if his suspension survived that, I'm amazed.
It looks like it has.
What's his wheel look like?
We were just on board. I mean, it looked okay.
That was his. It looked straight, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
So, if there's nothing there to see,
That's
no.
A miracle, that. My God.
Well, it must be cosmetic, Pete.
Well, I'm gonna go and buy an Elantra if they're that robust.
They're fun to drive as well.
Yeah. So, Wobbly is sat in the pits at the minute, waiting for the end of his tow.
He wanted to sing a redemption song every time I see that car now.
I know, yeah. David Janssen, fastest lap of this race again.
Wow.
Only
David's
car.
chewing at the bit, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh no, he's not the only car under 149. Spencer McCarthy is also under 149, 2 cars ahead of him. So.
Well, we had 47s, didn't we, in the first race? I don't think anybody
did.
got a 46, did we? So.
No. And we saw Stephen Walker.
You know, we've got a lot of weight in these cars at the moment.
Oh, Jamie, where are you going?
Oh, there's some canny driving going on to save some of these cars, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
And some seriously quick counter steers. When I try and counter steer as fast as that, it unscrews my arms, Pete.
Right, Geodesic finding new ways to kill Geodesic. That's brilliant.
Ever inventive.
Yeah. So that actually, Rob Sutherland on the chat is absolutely right, because Spencer was the one that turned Wobbly into a missile and hit. Oh my God, that is a car in.
Oh.
That is the pit stop. Dietmar is stuck there, I think. Lad. That is a pit box on this track.
He's had to tow.
He's had to quit out, is what he's had to do. Wobbly's also quit out with him. So, yeah, unfortunate that Dietmar was the car in P17 at the start. Should have mentioned that, really.
That's it. It was stuck there, and that was the penalty of the the mysterious trap.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dreadful.
Unlucky for Cutting Corny TCR, one of their cars, trapped in that P17 slot.
It's like alien interference.
It is, isn't it?
Flying around, shooting us with their rays.
Yeah, I mean, how often have we seen the two Team Chimera cars? Oh my god, it's getting a bit sketchy.
Oh,
Who was that in the background? Was that
there we
Carl
go. That
Hardy?
was it. Synchronized swinging.
Yeah, getting himself back onto the track. Meanwhile, there's all sorts going on back here as Pete Newman makes his way back through the field. Let's have a quick look at that. I hadn't actually realised that Dietmar was the car that was in P17 until much later. Right, so the two Chimera cars go sailing through. That is Spencer.
Oh.
And Carl got all sorts of like unsighted, got his braking point wrong. Probably because Spencer braked so late. I think that was on Carl, that one, I think. Missing his brake point. Roger Moore.
Oh dear. Unsighted.
Yeah. Very unsighted, yeah. And probably completely foxed by how late Spencer braked.
Yes. Yes.
But Spencer was able to pull it down to the corner, whereas Carl was just a passenger. It was too late.
He's just a human being, you see.
Yeah, not an alien. Yeah. Right at the front, Jay Corley leads this race, and has done for quite a while. To be fair, you need to get onto his stream. His streams are really good. I plug them as often as I can.
Not just at the moment, though, folks.
Well, no, you want to stay here at least for a little while. We've got quite a few watching at the moment, which is good.
Well, this is showing off. Is he in the Ford?
Who?
Is any of those in the Ford at the front there?
We don't have Fords in this one.
Oh, it's a Honda, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always think Civics should be Fords. Why is that?
I don't know. Sometimes things like that stick in your head, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. So some dynamic driving going on here, it has to be said. Lots of sliding sideways through a lot of these corners from multiple different types of cars, Alan.
Yes.
This corner in particular here, they don't like the traction.
The thing is, these guys are pushing it right to the edge of the traction, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
They don't leave anything on the track. They don't leave a safety margin. And in truth, you can't afford to, because nobody else is.
No. So Stephen Walker about to get lucky. Or is he? Jay Corley. Oh, right. That is lovely.
You know,
oh, my God. That's good.
This is going to be tight. Jay won't give it up, but Stephen's a master at this stuff.
Yeah, this is the site of a murder earlier. Oh,
look at this. This is beautiful. This is just plumb beautiful.
Yep,
look
side by side for the lead. And look at that. Daniel Mills.
Yeah.
In his fourth race with us, this will be. Right on this, in third place. Sniffing down a podium at the moment.
Yeah, he's doing incredibly well. Really, this is fantastic performance by him. He's shooting way above his weight at the moment.
Oh, look at that. So, Stephen Walker got a lead lap
there. Smith as well.
Jay Corley taking him to task over it. This is, again, for the lead. That's lovely from Jay Corley. My God, that was good. Sensational race in this.
It's great stuff, isn't it? We're getting spoiled again, Pete.
Daniel Mills just behind is going, do it.
Yeah, well, you know why he's just in the perfect position, isn't he?
Yeah.
To follow through here.
Simon Trendle in fourth has caught this lead group of three, and he's brought David Janssen with him, who's just ahead of Spencer McCarthy, and they've both just passed Christopher Smith in that Audi.
Oh, David's got past Spencer.
Yes, that was a bit ago. We didn't see it on our screens. We were watching a replay of Cal Hardy losing it.
Well, that's interesting.
So this group at the front here is 6 cars deep. It's 8 cars
in a normal
deep.
race, they'd be fuel saving.
Yeah, because now
tried to.
Christopher Smith has been joined at the back of this queue by Martin Shirley and Jamie Wilson.
Yeah.
Sporting our inset camera at times throughout this race, is wanting to get on board with this group.
Oh, Chris and Martin are doing fantastic, aren't they? What a job they're doing there. ensconced in the top 10 comfortably with
I
some
know.
really classy drivers around them
Yeah,
and
the
looking very comfortable.
13 minutes
Really,
in. Yeah. Oh, that was lovely. Textbook stuff from Simon Trendle there underneath Daniel Mills. And he's now got the super fast David Johansen and Spencer bearing
and
down on him
Simon's doing well to keep them behind him because
at the minute, yeah.
it's it was short a few tenths in the first
Oh,
race.
don't go 3 wide through there. Oh, Spencer!
Oh,
Where's Spencer gone?
oh,
And who's he going to get?
nobody.
Oh, yes, he
What?
is.
Oh,
That's
oh
Simon
yes.
Trendle and a bit of David
Oh no.
Johansen.
That was that was probably harder than it looked, I think.
Yeah,
With shed bodywork.
yeah. Oh, it's all getting a bit tense here. Daniel Mills won't know what on earth is going on around him. I can't believe that Spencer's not got a massive slowdown for doing a huge course cut. So we'll have to see how this pans out. I mean, it's a very exciting track, this, isn't it? It's already brought
Yeah.
enormous amounts of ridiculous racing.
Well, it's dangerous.
Good evening to Ian Bertolucci on the chat. Who are you cheering for? Are you another CCT fan? Right, let's see what's going on here. Spencer McCarthy. Now I'm going to scrap with Martin Shirley, who's right behind him.
I wonder if has he got damage, you think?
Let's go on board with Spencer, just see what sort of damage he might have. It was a big hit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see if his wheel's still straight.
He lost shed a bit of bodywork, I think.
Was he?
So, well, somebody did. Somebody left their balance on the floor.
Oh, okay. Where is...
But that looked okay, didn't it? It didn't
did.
look like he was fighting with it at all.
Right, David Johansen has dropped right down the order at the minute. Let's have a look at his...
How do you get there, David?
I'm going to go and find out why he's back there in a second. Oh, right, okay.
He was right up there. He was right up in the thick of it a second ago.
He was. Right, let's just have a watch of this. Got his braking point. No. Okay. So it was ascend. That was ascend. We're going to watch it again, folks.
Yes.
So he was
very nearly came off.
6 weeks behind Spencer, and then all of a sudden...
Very nearly came off.
Yeah.
But slight misjudgment, but a valiant effort, and fortunately...
my God. I didn't see that the first time. Good grief.
But that made his pulse race a bit.
His pulse? Need my blood pressure pills again. Howdy folks, cheering for my fellow SRG teammate David. Well, we've just watched him throwing his car at people ahead of him. Right, let's get on a different camera here.
Not often see David will do something, so definitely a small misjudgment. He doesn't. He must have missed his braking or something, because he certainly wouldn't.
Well, he got it.
Reckless.
His argument will be he got it down for the corner, but you've still got to finish the corner, as it were. So
yes,
and you know, braking from that distance back, you've got to say it was a bit of a Hail Mary, and I don't think Spencer would have known much about it until very late.
No. Certainly wouldn't have expected David to be diving there, but
yeah. Good evening to Chloe Newland on the chat, who says good evening to me and you, Alan.
oh, well, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Good evening, Chloe.
Oh,
Now, what I would like to see is him make a drive back, because he's very capable, is David.
Yeah.
He's still got plenty of time to actually make an
Oh, there's
impression
loads
in
of
this
time.
race.
He's just passed Carl Hardy back here, and he's
Like
signing
12
his way
Sundays
through.
still.
Where's Jamie Jeffrey? Jamie Jeffrey up 13 places in this race. He's absolutely on one.
Mr. Mills is doing a spectacular drive here.
Yeah, Silas has noticed that Stefan lost a few positions at the start. He's picking them back up though. He's only 2 down from his start position at the minute. I don't think the Audi is the favourable car here, Alan. I think this is
No,
not one of its tracks. It does have
no.
favourable tracks. This is not one of them. I mean, the first Audi is
Nasty
Chris
corners
Smith.
along straights, not really its thing, I don't think.
No, needs high speed, long straights where it can stretch its legs for miles. And Stefan is putting pressure onto Jura Larkkinen. He's got Arnaud Chenonnier in front, who is miles ahead of Boyd Driesen, the next car in AM class. Let's just separate all these guys out into their classes. So each class has got one car out. Anthony Hilton out of AM, Dietmar Hoos out of Pro-Am, and Wobbly out of Pro. You can see there's some big gaps in some of the fields. And Arnaud Chenonnier at the minute is 13 seconds clear of his closest rival behind him, which is Boyd Driesen.
Yes, we haven't got David here tonight, have we?
No, we don't. No.
So
Yeah,
that
Scary
would be his
Mary's-
main rival.
Yeah. Scary Mary's making him do the washing up, I think.
And Jason's not here as well.
That's true. He's Judith Chalmers, isn't he? Really, always on a holiday somewhere. More money than sense, that boy, I think, and more holidays than Santa. Right, so Stefan's still piling the pressure on here. Further forward, this is Jamie Wilson about to get Sam Bleased. Right, so what are they going to do? Are they going to sort it out by the end of this straight? Somebody's going to have to drop back in to get a bit more toe and then pop back out. Yes. And then later on the brakes, then Jamie. And on the inset, you'll see Sam Bleas's car appear. There we go.
No. That was beautifully done, wasn't it?
It was textbook, and look who's behind them.
Yes.
Jamie Jeffrey.
Jamie won't be minding getting a free ride.
And I have
He'll
to
be
say,
enjoying
I
it.
am ecstatic that PVG, after having all that bad stuff in the first race, he's up nearly 16 places in this race. So he is absolutely carving his way through. He's got Pete Newman for company right behind him.
Well, Pete's doing well with his.
Broken car, yeah.
What's got it? I've got to be carrying some damage.
Well, yeah, he got hit like a missile, didn't he?
Yeah. So.
3 times.
And he's doing.
Where's Roger
doing
going?
a good job. There's Roger. Well, Roger's looks like he's catching Pete.
Well, yeah, but he needed someone to take a photograph of that last apex because he was so far from it.
Who's probably eyeing it up for his next holidays.
Yeah, and here comes David Johansson on a mega recovery drive. He was nearly last, and he's now back to 17th, so he's doing all right. PVG fighting it out here with Roy Mitchell. Roy is keeping that position at the minute. Great racing, Roy. Honda on Honda with a very, very fast... Oh, PVG, where you going, mate? Off to the left.
Oh, he's got it.
Right
Good
a bit, left a
recovery.
bit. Yeah. Pete Newman over the bumps there, and another damaged car.
So,
Battle of the Pete's now. Pete Van Gool,
yes.
Pete Newman.
Well, years have spent racing each other.
Yeah.
They're very familiar with each other on track.
Well, they're about to get intimate once again. David Johansson already on the back of Arnaud Chenonnier. And probably going to outbrake him into this corner because
Look
we've
at
seen
this.
how late he can brake.
He's tearing through the traffic.
Yeah. No messing. Spencer McCarthy-esque at the minute, getting through these guys anyway.
Yeah.
And Stefan really pressing the issue with Jura Larkkinen now.
You don't wish people
Round the
ill,
outside. Oh, that was great.
Oh, it was tasty, wasn't it?
It was.
Goodness.
Carl Hardy.
You don't wish people ill, do you, people?
No, not at all.
But it gives us the chance to see these remarkable comeback drives, and I find them really exciting. I must admit, when you get one of these top drivers trying to get back, trying to carve through the field,
Yeah.
it's really some breathtaking skill we get the chance to admire.
So, for those of you new to the broadcast this evening, we will not be pitting the cars in this race as a scheduled stop. We've overfueled the cars because of a glitch on this track where P17. Ooh, Pete Newman, where you go? Oh, well, good save, good save. or was it?
Oh.
It was in the end. Bit of a block pass there on. Is that Roy Mitchell? It was Roy Mitchell. Roy might feel a bit shortchanged.
There's Roger in the midst of things here.
Yeah. And he's got David Janssen behind him now.
Got David to deal with now, so. Oh, good luck with that, matey. But you're doing a really fine performance here. You know, this is really wonderful driving. He's doing a great job.
He is.
Yes. These are really, these are top quality people around him, and it's intimidating to drive against people as good as that. And he's absolutely showing no ill effects of having some of the best drivers in iRacing visiting his exhaust pipe.
Stephen Walker leads this race by 2.7 seconds over Simon Trendle. So two ex-champions leading the race. Jay Corley is holding out in third. He was the pole man. And he's got Spencer McCarthy breathing down his neck now. Daniel Mills, he's holding his own here in this Audi.
Doing a fantastic job, honestly. Yeah, it's fantastic performance by him.
Yeah.
And Martin and Mr. Smith, they're all
Christopher Smith
should be terribly proud of themselves.
And Martin Shirley, yep, you're calling them out big time. Rene Earhart there on a bit of a recovery drive. He had a bit of an incident early on, didn't he?
Yes, but he's not been dropped. You know, he's well in touch with these guys, and I think he's pulling them in, isn't he? So clearly got the pace, and this is great to see.
This is a developing.
Of course, these two will almost certainly be catching up because.
Sam Blease has got a demolished right-hand side of that car. If you remember, he got wobbled.
Yes, but he's keeping Jamie behind him.
He is, but not for long, I don't think. Jamie's last lap was so much faster, nearly 0.3 faster.
Yeah, well, this is it. You can see that Sam's got his hand full with that car.
Oh yeah. Something's not working right with it. Shane Newport shouting out for Jamie Jeffrey as well. He is making his way through. He's already up 14 places. The only car that's up more positions than him is this car, Pete Van Gool. We've seen him go sideways a couple of times up to this point. You're a Larkinen in the background there, and Arnaud Chenonnier having a bit of a thrashing. Arnaud's dropped back somewhat because in the distance we should see Boyd Driesen. So I suppose the gap is still pretty massive as Chris Needham is also recovering. Right.
Looks like decent lap times. So I mean, what are the lap times?
Oh,
no.
So that was, we're going to have to watch that again.
Oh, dear.
David Jansen's spent a lot of time off the side of the track in this one. Let's have a quick look at that.
That's unfortunate again.
Yeah. Right, so here we go.
He's in the wars tonight.
Yeah, is this another late break? I mean, he's quite far back and he has sent it, but he's not managed to turn the car properly. So for me, that was David Jansen. He needed to be slow enough to turn properly, and he wasn't.
He wasn't making the corner, was he?
I don't think so, no. Well, he was, but he was going to run it right out to the other side, not on the normal racing line.
And there was another car there, wanting the same spot.
System Decal on the chat is cheering for Daniel, so we'll go and find him. He's hoping that he doesn't turn his tyres to chewing gum. Where is he? There he is, in that Veloster.
Not normally a problem,
no.
Historically, but they have been messing with the tyre models of late, so...
Well, that Audi was much later on the brakes. Christopher Smith there.
Have we got news about rain tyres for these cars, Pete?
I've no idea, to be honest. I know they've not got them yet. It won't be long, though, I wouldn't have thought.
No, they'll be coming. They'll definitely
LMS
be coming.
stuff, innit?
Yeah, the GT cars have got them. Oh, I think the GT3 is maybe not the 4s or the other way around, but yeah, they're definitely coming. It's going to be a full implementation throughout.
Just Needham showing himself in Boyd Driesen's mirrors as they go racing again. Sam Blease here, still got Jamie Jeffrey breathing down his neck. Excuse me. Jimmy's going to step out of the Tozy. Not yet. Maybe by the end of this straight. No.
No, I don't think so. Not close enough.
No. In fact, it's almost like the Sam Blease's Elantra is faster in a straight line than Jamie's, but Jamie can catch him through the turns a little easier. So we'll have to see how this one comes to the boil. Daniel Mills under quite a lot of pressure at the minute from Christopher Smith.
I'm surprised if the top speeds were anything remarkably different, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, the setup can make a difference on its behaviour through the corners, that's for sure. If you pin the setup, you can certainly get an advantage with the great handling car.
Yeah, Jamie Jeffrey just got that move done on Sam Blease. We're going to have a quick look at this to see how he did it, because he was a little way back. So he's closed him in. Maybe that white Elantra, that Geo car, can't turn left very well. Oh, it straightened up on him. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's not behaving properly.
No.
I think we'll probably find out that Sam's doing a heroic job to actually keep things going on the road, and he's probably doing something that I definitely couldn't do.
Yeah.
He's that kind of a driver. He's got the ability.
David finds himself in 20th place and passing the people he passed a minute ago, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So Stephen Walker leads this race. I'm not seeing much of him because he's got a big gap. But the gap is reducing, so Simon Trendle is hunting him down, but it's all very slow.
Yes, and I would have predicted Stephen and Simon at the front of this race at the beginning.
No, it's been a bit sketchy. I mean, it's a brand new track to the service, and we've seen some fantastic sportsmanship from a number of different people, giving places back, like unbelievably giving places back. Jimmy Jeffrey in the first race, particularly. Daniel Mills has done himself very, very well in both races, actually.
Yeah, he's definitely a strong prospect for driver of the night.
Yeah.
There's some really good drives going on out there.
Here comes Stefan on the back of Roy. Roy got a bit muscled out. That's a strange line from him there, and Stefan might get an advantage. We've seen people go around the outside on a few of these corners. Yeah, you don't get that many tracks in the world where you can go around the outside safely, but this has clearly got at least one corner where that's possible, Alan.
But like maybe safe for some drivers.
Some, yeah exactly that. Yeah, i.e., not me. Right, we've still got. I think,
you know, when people are familiar with themselves and they trust each other like these guys do, which is, I mean, we get the benefit of the trust, the level of trust and familiarity these drivers have got with each other, so they know how far they can push things generally, and that's why we see all these tremendously, you know, literally the width of a spray can.
Yeah.
In the cars.
Good evening to Nicola Jeffrey on the chat, obviously shouting for Jamie who's on the screens in that unicorn-powered Elantra. Making his way back through the field in a big recovery drive. He's up 15 positions from his start. Again, the only car to have improved on that is this boy, Pete Van Gool. Had a real terrible first race in terms of accident. But showing his class in this one. Why is Roy Mitchell in the pits? Is he doing a drive-through?
Oh, I hope not. This
might be a drive of shame. I don't see him moving to a pit box. I do see him doing the full drive of shame.
That's a drive-through.
Yeah. Right.
Hard night, kiddo.
So, David Johansson, I think, has done 3 races.
Look at that.
In this
Look
one.
At that.
He's don't get me wrong, he's brilliant on the brakes, but I think 2 of his executions have been proper sends, and hopefully he recognises that. The second one particularly, he did not have the car turned, so he was going straight across the front of the car he was trying to pass. We'll see how that.
I don't think it's affected his attitude and his intent.
No.
He's going after it absolutely like it's lap 1, isn't he? And that's what we like to see.
And we don't want to see, we don't want to see, sterile racing, but we want to see, People learning from how they approach races. That's what this league has always been about. So going back to the front, who's that gone
Oh,
to pit road? Is that another one?
it's
Matthias?
Cosmic Car.
Yeah. Makes your eyes bleed, this one, doesn't it? That pink and the greeny yellow colour. Oh, he's going to a box. He's going to a box. So I'm not sure why, but we'll see. As
Got a bit of
Stephen's
year
getting caught.
one.
Stephen is definitely getting caught, and he's got 7 minutes to hold off. Simon Trendle.
Wow, Simon was probably got blood in his eye.
Well, yeah. I mean, we know he's mega capable because he's already won this series a few times. As has Stephen, but Stephen did it with luck, obviously. You know. Why was the screeching tires?
Well, we haven't seen Simon producing race-winning pace
No.
in the couple of races since he's been back. You know, he's been finding his feet, but if he's closing Stephen Walker down, I would say he's found his feet.
Yep. Carl Hardy hunting down Stefan for a position. So you can see new track, folks. Everybody getting used to it. You can see how the different categories are mixed together in this one, with Daniel Mills being the furthest forward Pro-Am car, which is exceptional work.
Oh, God, nearly lost his back end then.
He certainly did. That was sketchy at best. Proper code brown, that one. And he's got David Johansson behind him now.
Which is probably why he's pressing on so desperately.
Yeah. I think he'll end up giving up that place the way that David Johansson...
David won't be held up, and
no, he
he
won't.
will get out of the tow, and I expect he will do it. Having said that, you know, he'll hesitate to pull a late move, won't he? Now,
I don't know.
Having got a couple of wrong timings, he might want to give himself a little bit more room.
I doubt it. I think it's still going to be lick it and send it. He's in a very.
It seems to me that
position.
he hesitated just then, but
yeah, he's in there.
With the corner where he came to grief previously. So
that was a very well controlled. Yeah, that was well controlled. Yeah,
that was a beautiful and a better place, I suspect. You know,
yeah,
I think it was just smart driving.
I'd agree with that. Right, out of the corner they go, and we are 5 minutes from the end of this race. Daniel Mills, well, I was going to do this, so I was going to split the classes up, and you can see that Daniel Mills is under mega pressure from Christopher Smith in that Audi right behind him, an Audi right at the pointy end of one of the classes. Excellent work.
Yes.
In fact, that Pro-Am class is
hotter
than hell.
Top three are all within a second. I mean, goodness me.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 within a second. Amazing. At this stage of the race, that's fantastic. And if I was in one of those cars, I would have a coat hanger smile, because this is why you're here. I mean, this is brilliant for them, and it's just demonstrating their skill and ability, and they're fitting in there like a finger in a glove.
Yeah. And we need to be looking at this. Stephen Walker, whose luck may have run dry because Simon Trendle has caught him now. He's 4/10 behind him, and it was 3 a minute ago. I think that Simon's managed to preserve those tyres just a little bit better. I think that is the answer to this little riddle.
Yeah, that's interesting. Of course, Kutch's not passing, is it?
No, not at all. And we know that Stephen's a fantastic driver. It's nothing to do with luck. Obviously, I'm winding him up remotely here. Yeah, off-tracks system decal is identified as being the root cause of these drive-throughs. Although Matthias Schultz has parked it and has gone.
Oh.
So not sure why exactly. There's no event to say that he crashed, unless it's just been so innocuous that SDK has not picked it up. That was heavy going over the curb there from the rear right wheel of Stephen Walker's car, as David Johansson picks off Stefan into that sharp right-hander yet again.
tough corners. There's not an
Yeah.
awful lot of spare room. You have to get your braking right. We've seen it catch people out tonight, the braking, because
Yes.
it's really very acute. But yeah, now he's got to get past Roger, and that's not going to be easy. But at least the cars have a lovely harmonic content in their colour schemes. Do you like that? Bit of purple out there. We like a bit of purple.
We do. Right, this is getting a bit hot under the collar here. So we're coming towards the end of the lap. That's pit lane entry there. So we've got a left here, which is quite a fast left, this. And then into a very, very slow right hairpin. And to my eye, Simon Trundle is either holding station waiting for a last lap attempt, which we may end up on the last lap now. Let's just see if Barney's waving. Yes, he is. Last lap.
Oh, so that's the pressure on now then. I thought they might squeeze another one, you know.
It was touch and go.
Yeah. With 38 on the clock, but yeah. Well, this is very exciting now because there's no calling this.
No. Oh, this is on. This is very on. Obviously, you can see the battles.
Oh, he's got that left hand. If that would have been a right hand, that would have been all over, I think.
Yeah, Simon's taking wide lines in here, preserving that tyre temperature to get himself good drives off the corner. That was excellent, that last little bit. Stephen will be loving this.
Oh, God, he will. And of course, you know, Simon's been absolutely focused on a massively powerful rear-wheel drive car. And this is just about as opposite as it could be. Talk about end switching.
Yeah.
Well done, Stephen. Thank you.
Stephen knows he's on camera.
Yeah, well, this is fantastic.
It is. Oh, Stephen will be hoping for just a little bit of luck. As Simon's basically pushing him round some of these corners.
Yeah, he needs good exits from these corners. He just needs really good exits. He can't afford to make a single mistake.
Oh, and there he goes.
Oh, look at that.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Nearly did.
See how close that was. Goodness me.
2 corners left. Where's Stephen going?
Oh,
Seriously, where's Stephen going? Really?
That's how he's got a drive through.
He must have, but you can't shed them on the last lap.
He knows that.
He must know that. Has he gone down pit road because it's quicker? No, he can't have done. No. And there goes Simon Trundle for the win. Can't even believe that.
I don't know what that's about.
Well, I don't know what's going on here. Right, we're going to have to interview.
Well,
we're going to have to interview. Right, everybody's piling over the line. I don't know.
Simon's got the win. Well, that's a fantastic result for Simon Trundle.
It really is. Somebody on the chat needs to tell us what's going on because we don't have a clue.
And Spencer and Jay Corley, fantastic result for Jay.
Yeah, that's very, very good.
And yeah, just amazing. Mr. Mills, Mr. Smith, and Mr. Shirley, you should be proud of yourselves.
Yes, yeah. We've got some guys very high in the point scoring here that we've not seen ordinarily. Is that Chris Needham? Yeah, he's coming across the line here, 22nd. Boyd Treason behind him. Chris Dixon some way back with Fiona, even further back than that. Where's Chris? There he is. Well done. Carl looks immaculate.
Yeah, well done, Chris.
And then Fee. Again, Carl looks pretty good. Looks immaculate. Last corner.
Keeping out of trouble.
Yeah.
Driving nice lines.
Very nice. Yeah, good points all. Flashing lights as much as you like at the end of the race. That doesn't wind me up at all. Well done. Wow. Well, I don't know how many races I feel like I've watched, Alan, but it's definitely more than one.
Well, it was 2.
That's going to go down for centuries as being Pete's stupid statement. So, yeah. These guys like to get around the track and get into pit road.
It was fantastic. Well, what an evening's entertainment it was, Pete.
Yeah,
honestly.
that was good.
You won't. Well, we got an absolute thrill fest last week. We've had an absolute battle this week. This has been absolute battle, but right on the edge of skill, ability, tremendous pace, tremendous car handling for 99% of the whole race by everybody. It's been a joy.
It really has. Dearie me. Let's move to going through the feature race. End of race performance. So, while the guys find their pit boxes, Simon Trendle took home the glory in this one. Where on earth did Stephen end up in the end? We're going to have to find out in a minute. We're going to find out now. Simon Trendle is your feature race winner tonight. No pit stops in this one because of a track glitch. For Team Chimera, back to winning ways for Simon Trendle. Spencer McCarthy, probably the most points scoringist. I don't know what the right term is of tonight, because he had 2 second places. This is his obviously second one for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing, and Jay Corley. Great result in the end for Result X Pure Sims Esports. The first of tonight's AM drivers finished in 4th, Alan. Daniel Mills. What a great performance, Alan. That's fantastic, isn't it?
I think that's tremendous. I think 4, 5, and 6.
I know.
They're in green. You'll notice that it's loud and proud in green and very prominent in the top 10. Fantastic driving.
And look at that from RD Simsport. You're absolutely right. 5th and 2nd in class for Chris Smith, and 6th and 3rd in class for Martin Shirley. Brilliant racing, guys. Brilliant. Sam Blees finished 7th after getting annihilated by a missile shaped like Wobbly's car for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. And Jamie Jeffrey finished in 8th place for Coupes and Convertibles. So something went on there at the end. We missed. Not like us at all. Not like me, rather. Rene Earhart finished 9th for Cutting Corny TCR team. A good performance, that. And that's cements his class win from the first race. Jamie Wilson finished 10th for Team Chimera. Pete Van Gool finished 11th for Result Clothing. Sorry, for Result X Pure Sims, with his teammate Pete Newman, much delayed, finishing in 12th behind him. Roger Morton finished 13th for Safeguard. David Johansson finished 14th for Sim Racing Grid. Carl Hardy finished in 15th for Safeguard. Stefan finished 16th for VTS Esports, with Euro Larkinen in 17th. And the AM class winner tonight in this race, as well as the first one, was Arnaud Chenonnier, who finished 18th overall for Air Smart Racing. 19th was David Danza. 20th was Roy Mitchell, who was doing a fantastic job at the start for Single Cell Motorsport. Chris Needham finished 21st for Air Smart Racing. Boyd Driesen finished 2nd in class and 22nd for DB Quasi Racing, with Chris Dixon getting 3rd in class. Excellent work. 23rd overall for Workhard, with his teammate Fiona finishing in 24th, right behind him. Well, some way behind him, but you get my point. And then Stephen Walker relegated to the deep, dark depths of 25th, Alan. That seems very unjustified, doesn't it? But we'll have to find out what happened.
Yes. Well, it's very upsetting and for Stephen, because it's certainly a better driver than that. But we don't know why he went in the pits. But he's fell foul of iRacing's rules.
Yeah, I think so. I think it must have been off tracks or incidents at the very least. I don't know. He was leading the race. I don't believe he's picked that many up. But never mind. Matthias Schultz finished or was classified 26th, 6 laps down for TITZ performance. Anthony Hilton was classified in 27th, 14 laps down. And Dietmar Hoos classified 28th, 20 laps down. With only the wobbly to account for. 22 laps down, was turned into a missile and destroyed his car on the side of Sam Blee's car for Spectre 6. That'll be his drop week, no doubt, because that wasn't the greatest of results for him. So, Alan, Navarra, a very dynamic, exciting track.
Yes,
Maybe a bit too dynamic for some.
It was, I think, it suited the MX-5 very well, Pete. To be honest, For
Yeah.
those, there's a bit more space for the MX-5 around there. These guys are going faster. They're front-wheel drive. The camber of the corners and the amount of tight bends and everything, it's going to make these cars work hard. And I think they've had to work hard around here tonight. This would have been a really tough driving and tough racing for these guys.
Yeah, and a real workout for them as well. This isn't clearly isn't a track where you can rest much. That start-finish straight's quite long. You get a bit of a rest there, but not in this company because they're all over you like a bad rash.
Yeah, yeah. You don't get any time off when you've got people like these around you. When you've got the Spencers and the
No.
Simons, and you know what I mean. There's no time off.
Yeah, you're
And
absolutely
we've
right.
seen some amazing battles tonight. We've seen some misfortune, but we've seen recovery drives. We've seen some great car handling, some amazing overtakes, and some gritty, determined holding on. So a bit of everything, really.
Yep. Couldn't say any more than that, to be honest. Right, let's start with these interviews. We're going to start with Mr. David Johansen, mid-sentence, love it. Always like to snatch him like that, Alan. It's always hilarious.
It's
David,
timing's flawless, David, isn't it? Every time.
yeah. Well, not normally, but tonight I've been all right, to be fair. So, amidst the chaos of the start of the race, your first of tonight's races was a done deal right from the start, David. You lit that Elantra up like a Christmas tree. You were off down the track and gapped everybody already by 1.5 seconds, I think, by the end of the second lap. You were unstoppable on that flag to flag race, mopped up all the points. Fantastic performance. What are you going to put that down to, that performance?
Skill.
Forever modest, folks. David Johansen. Humble is not a word.
No,
that you know.
I never driven on this track until, well, all of us probably, since it's new. But I just got some laps down and found the setup I felt really comfortable with. And yeah, that's it. I didn't really do the lap in quali that I hoped to. I done a 47.7 in practice before, but couldn't get it really together. But I still got pole, so that was nice. And then I could just take it easy from there and just focus on myself, not making any mistakes. But at the end of the second to last lap, like last few corners, I got frame drops. Like normally it's 90 in the VR, but it dropped down to like 50, 60 and was stuttering as crazy. I was like, okay, I got 3.5 seconds. Let's just take it easy and get this done.
Yeah.
Well,
so
you don't need nightmares like that when you're in this kind of intense competition. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I thought with the way that we reset many sessions tonight, it's cost me a fortune. We overcame that, but apparently the glitchiness. Other people have reported that, by the way.
Yeah, it was just all of a sudden at one spot of the track, just bang from nowhere.
Yeah,
very strange.
From someone who had months, if not a year's worth of that happening because of my internet connection, I can vouch for the fact that it's not just a ridiculous distraction. It's dangerous for everybody around you as well as for you. So I think you've done very well in that regard, keeping control of the car with the glitchiness. Let's move on to race 2. You obviously got punished for your racing too good by starting.
We can forget about that. Spencer hates.
No. Because we saw some pretty spirited comebacks, David.
I went from.
Pete loved to see a brave comeback.
Yeah. I went from P15 on the grid to P5.
Yep.
Spencer was gonna let me through. I wasn't aware of it. It was very sudden. I was like, oh shit! I had to take a more. What do you say? Turning too early for the corner really, and for the speed I was having really. So I was going wide on the exit. I couldn't help it.
Yeah, from our perspective, it looked like a massive send Because obviously
No, he
you were
was
about
letting me
6 weeks
go.
back. Oh,
Yeah.
well, we didn't know that obviously. So
Yeah,
uh,
but I wasn't aware of it either. But
yeah,
when it happened, I was like, okay, yeah, he's letting me go. But it was very strange. So he ended up
Right. Oh, that
turning me
explains it.
there.
well,
Yeah, that
yeah.
explains it, doesn't it?
From our perspective, it looked like a huge send. It looked like you couldn't get the car turned fully, and then of course he did collect you and turn you. So that explains that one. And then
Yeah, he was
I
trying
think
to be nice, but
right.
as we always say in racing, don't be nice, be predictable.
Well, yes, absolutely right. Um,
But yeah,
and then we
Yeah.
so
saw
I
you
dropped down
overtake.
to P20,
Yeah.
moved up to P13. Same thing happened again but this time with Pete.
Yes, we saw it.
That was a bit of a send though.
Mm,
So that's more like on me, I guess.
yeah.
Uh, fall back to P20 again, and then move up to P14 in the end. Almost got Roger in the end, but yeah,
Yeah. No,
he
well,
wasn't aware of me standing on the inside in like turn 4 or something. What it is, 5, I don't know.
Mm.
So we touched, so I got a little bit out of control and I couldn't catch him really. I was just on
yes.
his
Well, we saw
tail on
you.
the
You
end.
were closing him down pretty quickly, weren't you, towards the end of the race and everything? So
Yeah, yeah.
that was great. It was very,
So I will
maybe
say
not the
I
way
was the
you want,
biggest
but
mover this race because
Well,
that's like
yeah,
10,
yes, you
if you
got a lot of
17,
overtakers.
24 spots.
yeah, if you were in the V8s where we have a Fred Bingham Forever Forward Award, you'd have already won it for the whole season just in this one race. Um, your ability to outbrake people was phenomenal. There was a send later on. I can't remember who it was now. You definitely couldn't get the car turned for that one because you were still pointing at the scenery at the time. But you know your confidence in that car is phenomenal. As we watch, who's that getting rotated around? Who's number 21? I'm not sure.
Wasn't Stephen, was
I
it?
think it might have been, but yeah, it was typical of a new track to the service, really, wasn't it, David? It was people trying to figure it out and making some. Oh, it's wobbly. It was wobbly. That was when he was turned into a missile. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Oh,
yeah,
heartbreak.
I know. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
it
I owe
was.
somebody a tenner for that. I'm not really sure at the minute. It was Spencer, wasn't it? I'm sure he's going to claim a tenner off me. But yeah,
I can take a tenner of him.
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it felt good. I felt like I could win that second race too. But yeah.
Well, you certainly had loads of pace tonight, mate. We enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, Spencer in the chat is saying he was trying to redress, so he obviously thought he'd picked up a place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
coming into turn 1, we were three wide,
Mhm.
and I think we touched a little bit. He got loose and got out on the grass and just
Right.
like was a missile into turn 2 and got all out of shape there and turned into me a little bit there. I was trying to go on the inside out of the corner, and yeah, he was probably trying to address that, as he
Yes.
said, but then
Okay.
it ended up way worse.
Well, to be fair, you finished in 14th. It could have been so much worse in that race. But yeah, you mopped up in the first one. A good point to all. I don't know what on earth this track has just done to the championship. I have no idea. And do not message me while I'm still in the interview saying no, the points up yet, because I may end up coming to Sweden and killing you.
Are they up yet?
I'm gonna kill him, Alan. I'm gonna kill him. Stop laughing. You're just promoting him. But yeah, great racing. You're a very, very talented driver. Super fast around here. I don't know how many laps of practice you must have put in order to be that fast, but you were dusting the rest of the field mostly. I think you got fastest lap in both. Yeah, drive at 100. I think you got fastest lap in both races.
Yeah,
I think you did.
well,
Yeah,
so.
mopped up.
I don't know.
Completely.
Second race was, I don't know if even never got a really good lap in, I think.
And then next week's Portimao for you. Hopefully you've done some practice there.
Nope.
No, excellent.
Never driven TCR there. I did some Super Formula Lights, I think.
Okay, so you know the track, so we expect to win from you.
Sure.
In that case, anybody you want to shout out to? You had a few people in the chat shouting for you, to be fair. Who was in the chat show?
Yeah, probably my teammates from Sim Racing Grid.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were all in there.
They're gonna go kill Spencer for me.
Oh,
I think.
excellent! Yeah, because
Yep,
that's
yep.
what we promote. Yeah,
Yep.
revenge.
Yep.
Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go and start practicing for Portimao?
Just shout out to everyone, and you to sitting in here, talking. It's very nice to look back on the broadcast afterwards.
Oh, that's nice, David.
It is.
Well, we enjoy watching you. You give us a great deal of pleasure, my friend.
Thank
All
you.
of you do.
He hasn't heard what we've said yet, so
That's what I'm here for. Giving people pleasure.
And on that sinister note, we will say fantastic racing. David Johansson, everybody.
Thank you.
Right, next up has to be Mr. Simon Trundle. Hopefully he's mid-sentence as well, but that's unlikely. Good evening, Simon Trundle.
Good evening.
Right, I'm going to need to find you on the track. Right, let's talk race one.
Lovely.
You I think you finished where you qualified. I'm not sure. No, you didn't. You moved forward, didn't you?
I might have finished where I qualified. I don't actually know.
Yeah,
I didn't
sixth
qualify
place.
that well. Only had 3 laps.
Well, yeah, true. Why was that then? But yeah, you kept it together. Stayed in that train, or at the rear end of it, and a couple of seconds away from wobbly in the end. As you're still getting refamiliarized, I'm going to call it, with the front wheel drive fraternity. Is that fair?
It's not.
Is that
It's
fair?
not a V8 supercar, is it?
It's really not, in many different ways.
I could use the engine out of the V8 supercar. And that
Well,
might help me.
I don't know what it'd do to the poor front tyres, but
I might make 2 laps.
yeah,
Tires, but
yeah, before they just exploded underneath the car. So yeah, 6th place, very, very, very handsome scoring still, especially in a field as big as this with clearly a lot of talent. David Johansson was so fast tonight, couldn't really convert it in race 2, but race 1 he absolutely did. And then race 2 happened, and we got the Simon Trundle of old, stay out of trouble, as much as possible anyway. Make your way through the field in good order, cleanly, and fighting with Stephen right to the very end. I did see your message a minute ago to Stephen, which clearly has nudged him over the incident limit, has it? Is that why he's been in? Right, okay.
I just he was a bit slower in that section. I wasn't expecting it, I think, and I just gave him the 4x on the 3rd to 4th to last corner.
Yeah.
It's not the way I want to win, to be honest. So I'm sort of a bit tainted, but
Yes.
I'd have rather finished second than had the battle. But
yeah, I don't know what the difference is.
I can't undo the 4x. That's the problem. It's really
No. Yeah, once the genie's out of the bottle, you can't stuff him back in again, can you? I don't know what the difference would have been for Stephen if he just rolled across the line instead of boxing the car and dropping it in the pit box, because you can't serve a penalty on the last lap, can you?
Depends where your pit box is, I think.
Yeah.
The start line's quite far along, but he's probably towards the front anyway. So
Yeah, true.
yeah.
But yeah, it worked out that you've run away with all of the points in the second race. So congratulations. Good to see you back on podium positions and on the top spot on this one. Team Chimera could do with the points, let's face it. Where did Jamie end up?
I was so busy trying to chase down Stephen, trying not to overbrake the car because it's such a nightmare. I'm so not used to it yet.
Right, okay.
I'm trying to brake hard and then finding that actually that's
I
just
think
ruining
you're
the front
doing
tyres.
great. You're doing great, Simon, because it's a big ask to transfer from that V8 to this TCR. I
The
mean,
thing is, that's my past is in front wheel drive touring cars. I started back with Race 07 in those days, so that's my bread and butter should be these cars, not the V8 supercar, which is the complete opposite. But I found something that apparently I'm quite good at in the V8 supercar. So.
yes, but you put the time and the effort in. I mean, it's admirable the way you applied yourself to the V8s and really took it on, and had a great success with it as well. So that's kudos to you for that. But kudos for you for coming back and picking up the TCR. And, very different vehicle, and you're doing really well in it. So already.
Yeah, it's not the Honda days anymore. I
Great
gave
Wall
that
of
2
Honda.
seasons, and I genuinely could not make the tyres on that car work, and I just dropped the car because it just wasn't working. And it was winding me up more than anything.
Yeah.
And obviously the tyres have been changed, so I gave it another go, and I'm driving, I'm changing what I'm doing, and it's actually having an effect this time. So
Oh well, that's
I
great.
haven't figured it out.
Mhm.
I'll get there.
Yeah,
I think. And then once I sort of qualify out, I can actually get some good first race results as well.
Yeah.
Rather than being at the tail end of the pro field.
Yeah, we got some footage of 2 Team Chimera cars on the same bit of tarmac tonight, which was great. And it's been a while since that's happened. And this won't fox you at all ready for Saturday's race, will it? Just driving front wheel on the Wednesday to go to V8 Monsters on the Saturday.
Yeah, around Fuji of all places. Nightmare last sector where you're just destroying tyres. Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good one. I'll talk to the people watching about that in a minute because there's still quite a few of them on YouTube. But yeah, great racing tonight, especially in that second race. That was exceptional work, making your way in and around imminent disaster on most corners. To be honest, for the first half of the race at least, and then bringing home the glory. Maybe you wanted to achieve it in a slightly different way, but it's there nonetheless. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go and start practicing for V8s?
Yeah, Stephen for obviously being a good sport about and obviously accepting that part of the instant count up to that point was his fault and not entirely mine. But I do feel guilty about that. To Jamie, I know there's a sponsor on the car for this one because his brother-in-law has passed away this week. I don't know if you're going to interview him, but there's a hospice sponsor on the car that we're running. So if you want to point that out, I can't remember the name of it because I haven't been involved. But yeah, just look at the back of the car; it's on there, and give them a shout out if you can. And to you guys for the broadcast, obviously.
Right, okay, let me find this.
Well, thank you,
right.
Simon. That was great, and let's see what that is.
So that is St Wilfrid's Hospice.
Right.
He's not had the best of luck, Jamie, family-wise, has he?
No, this has been...
He has not, no.
No.
He deals with this stuff with incredible dignity.
He does, and, I can only salute him. And if anybody's, wanting to, well, we can't see it now because I think Stephen's car's in the way. But if anybody wants to donate some cash towards St Wilfrid's Hospice, I'm sure there's somewhere that you can do it and show your support for, Jamie Wilson's family there.
Well, any hospice is
any
worth
hospice,
its weight in
absolutely
gold.
right, absolutely right. But so thank you for pointing that out, Simon. And just reinforces what a fantastic person you are. But yes, go on.
Well, we'll see you Saturday, yes?
Yeah, we'll see you Saturday, and we look forward to some. Another win. Let's go for that. Yeah, Simon Trendle, everybody.
See ya.
Good night, Simon.
Right, who are we going to pull in next? We've already had that one. Oh, right. He's right. We can't do Spencer just yet. In the best possible sense of the word, because he's. Oh no, he's not. Yes, no. Where's he gone? Oh, there he is.
Who's there?
Yeah, he was sharing his screen. You see, he was sharing his screen. Now he's not. So welcome to the booth, Spencer McCarthy.
Good evening.
Good evening. The highest point scoring car of the evening is the moniker that you've claimed. Let me change.
Well, is that with the 14 incident points in the second race?
That would be a no. But it looked good until you said that. Two second places. The first one was pretty. I wouldn't say pedestrian because nothing is in this league at the moment. But you.
I had a mega race with Pete.
Yeah, that was class. That was really good.
Yeah.
Both of you vying for that second place position for quite a long time.
Yeah, it was mega stuff. It was great, wasn't it? What a dice.
Yeah, it was a real mix. It was like, the car, the Veloster had a good bit of pace around the first few corners, around the first section. I was kind of getting a good run, and then it got to the twisties, and the Elantra seemed to maybe get the rotation done better around those. Mm-hmm. And it was just a bit concertina for a while. And then, Pete made that one mistake going into that first complex. Yeah. Kind of left the inside open, and I was there.
Right up
and then just went around the outside for the next 3 corners. It was like, and just got the overtake done. It was great.
Was that one that we were both stunned at, Spencer, going around the outside, Alan? Wasn't it?
I think it was.
That
probably.
was just priceless. That was just. I think you've won the championship just with that one move, because that was just brilliant.
It was one of those things. It's like lap 8. It's just like the only chance I've had, and it's the only chance I'm gonna get. And you know what I'm like, as you say, you've got to see it through. And it was great racing. I think we both gave each other room, and it was just And in the end, I just managed to get it around the outside. So yeah, proper good one, that one.
Yeah.
But then race 2. Oh,
Yeah, what the hell? Yeah. Misses. Because that was, you fought for that. You were off the track. You were turned sideways and backwards a couple of times, weren't you? No, just once.
Oh no,
just once.
yeah. David was turned twice. Once by me, once by someone else. I was actually trying to redress the situation by letting David back through, and I think he just got caught out a little bit on that one.
He did on that one. I think the one after that was all David. David. Yeah. But then obviously Wobbly as well early on. That whole of the first lap, me and Wobbly were side by side, trying to not give it up. We were both, no, I'm taking it. And it was like that the whole way around. It was great right until that last little complex. Until it was.
So basically, I didn't feel there was any contact. Meaning there was no. I didn't. With the steering wheel, I didn't feel like there was any contact.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But looking at the replay, there was clearly like probably, I don't know, whatever, virtually 4 inches of air. But you could see his car was actually starting to turn already. But I hadn't felt it by that point. So by the time I then saw anything, he was sideways next to me. He was like sideways in front of me. It was like, I hadn't. If I'd felt like a side-by-side contact, then I would have just, given more space straight away or whatever. But to me, it didn't feel like we were. You know how we race really close sometimes. So, and you can with some of the drivers out here. So
yeah.
And then sometimes when someone's in a different country or whatever, then maybe the net code's a little bit off, and then all of a sudden that's what happened really.
So you're saying it wasn't intentional?
Well, I can't claim the £10 this time.
Save it for another race.
Another race, yeah.
Awesome stuff.
I'm glad you said that because Pete was getting a sweat on.
I was, yeah. I've got cats to feed,
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Next time, Pete.
Yeah. Well, you brought it home in arguably what could have been 3rd place, but for a very, very unlucky Walker.
Sad times.
Yeah. Incident limit got a few of them tonight. We had a couple of drive-throughs.
Nearly got me.
Yeah.
That was one off.
We were trying to figure out what happened to Matthias.
Wow, this must be, yes. There's some rum corners on here, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
And there was plenty of close quarter driving tonight. It was magnificent.
It's a great track. I think obviously the pit bug issue isn't great. I think that having the 40-minute race flat out, I wonder whether having the pit stop almost gives your tyres a breather and almost brings the temperatures down a bit so you can go again in the second half, because I really did feel the drop off in that, like a lot more than last time out. So yeah.
We missed. I missed the pit stops, to be honest. Because that really adds a whole new flavour to it, and it would have been nice to see how it would have panned out on here.
But funnily enough, though, the guy that won, well, I know he got turned, or I was in second, right? We didn't get to the front. No. So I got as far as sort of second or third, and then my tyres started giving up. So I couldn't then quite have the grip and the pace to then carry on going. My times would drop right off, so it was interesting.
Yeah, that was a bit different. And the thing that we were trying to avoid desperately, which was whoever was in P17 getting stuck in his pit box, happened to Dietmar anyway. And that I was devastated for him, poor lad. I mean, I don't think there was much else we could have done in order to eliminate that risk. But I was soul destroyed watching him stuck on that.
That was quite, in a way, quite amusing though, when there's like a gaggle of like 6 cars all coming up and going, oh look, there's someone parked on the apex. It was a little bit like, how are we all going to get through here? Because some of us are side by side, and it was quite a bit shocking.
Tom Smith would have been it. Would have been, you can't park base.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's brilliant, Alan. Oh dear, sensational stuff. But we've got Portimao, no glitches that we know of for that track next week. It was brilliant last season, and I don't see why it would be any different this season. You've raced there last time. Did you enjoy Portimao?
Yeah, it was a learning curve. I don't think anyone's done it a lot, so it was a bit of a learning curve. I don't think I had the pace there last season compared to some of the other guys. So I think I was catching. I was in the right ballpark, but I think it's going to be a tricky one because it is also very brutal on the tyres. This one probably is as well, right? Because you've got long corners. Everything's a long corner. I think Portimao is similar, so probably going to end up having the similar issue towards the end of the race where cars struggling a bit. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to it either way, and we'll see if you rack up 14 incidents in one race again, which is unusual
I
for
hope
you.
not.
Yeah, very unusual.
Yeah.
I'm
forward
glad
to
it's
that.
unusual. I'm glad it's unusual. I don't like that races like that where there's that much contact for myself. So yeah, but hopefully, fingers crossed, doesn't happen very often. So
Yes.
A bit more room next week.
Well said. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more room
Yeah.
next week. In that case, we will ask you: is there anyone you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Massive shout out to Simon, Mr. Trendle. Yeah, it's
We're gonna soundbite that now. That's coming back.
He's back. He's back. He's won a race. I mean, I am going to claim helping him do it because I did give him damage when I went off and when I kind of went across the inside of the track and I rejoined. I think I gave him rear wheel damage, which obviously made his toe better than it was before. So that's what I'm going to put that down to. But yeah, no, well done for him. Massive shout out for him.
Yeah.
It's great. Towards the end of that race, he was definitely on the pace. He was hassling Steve, and I don't think Steve is gonna be upset with what happened at the end there, because at the end of the day, he had done the same thing, right? You've got to try when you've got that sort of pace over the guy in front, and it's the last lap. You've got to have a dive somewhere, and unfortunately, what probably shouldn't have been a 4X was a 4X, and it panned out as it was. But hats off to Simon.
Simon had caught Stephen, in fairness.
Oh god, yeah, he was all over him. Yeah, just a shame it happened that way, and I'm sure Simon doesn't like winning that way either. But he did, and he deserves it.
At the end of the day, he does deserve it.
Hello, there he is.
I know. Yeah, there's Dietmar, poor lad.
Send him a lollipop.
Yeah, lollipop. Yeah, one of those little ones you got when you went to the dentist, which was silly, wasn't it? Really. Anyway, in that case, we'll let you go and start some practice for Portimao, and we will look forward to watching you scythe your way through the field in the race 2 next week, where everything will be back to normal. Spencer McCarthy, everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Good night, mate.
Cool. Right. Let's. If you need to leave at any point, feel free to do so, Alan. We're gonna get in.
I've got my thermometer on my bottom.
Have you really?
Yes.
Very good. We're going to bring in, I'm sure the poor lad's going to be midstream, I'm not sure. Jay Corley, do you have a copy, is what they say in America?
A coffee? Or
Copy.
Copy that, I suppose.
Excellent. Are you already in a session or not?
I'm doing stuff. But it's fine.
Oh, okay, all right, cool. So, first race.
I'm so confused.
Well, we're always confused. Yeah. Who knows what's going on here?
It's very confusing sometimes.
I am. It has to be said.
So it's the best way to be.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, it's the way we love him.
Qualifying. Talk to me.
I don't like this track, Pete. I don't like this track at all.
Oh,
I think the whole debacle with the sessions in the first place, I was already off my game anyway, but with constant start and stopping, I will admit my mind was sort of elsewhere for today. I think I did all right. I was just like, fantastic. I got into the 48s. I've been trying to do this all week. And then I realised that my starting position was a double figure. And that's not so good. So it's probably the same as last week, where I just have to live with it and try and make it best that I can.
Yeah, and I think that was absolutely true of the race too. I mean, you were 15th in the first race. I feel you could have been so much higher up the field than that, and I think you'll agree. Second race, though, was a different Jay Corley. You started off on pole. You maintained that position and had some really good battles at the start and got yourself a pretty big gap, right? And then you slowly got hunted down, but you still did yourself a fantastic service. Finished third on the podium, good points haul. It kind of redeemed the situation from the first race, in my opinion. What are your thoughts?
So the first race, it was just we were doing pretty good. We managed to get up to the top 10. We were chasing down Christopher Smith, I think it was actually.
Yes,
and
Audi,
just
yep.
a freak accident going up to turn 2, braking on the outside curbs, just completely sent my car to the side. Couldn't do anything about it, and did have a coming together with Christopher. Luckily, neither of our races ruined from that, and we did both finish into the top 15. So apologies sent on that one. That one, put my hands up. All my fault for just not concentrating enough. Second race, I got fortunate. There was a lot of battling behind, and I decided to deploy very similar, frustrating to others tactics as we did in the last race. But as soon as I saw a couple of seconds gap, I thought, okay, I'm going to push the car a little bit, and maybe towards the end of the race, I kind of paid for it a little bit with laps of uncertainty. Were they going to catch me? Were they going to dive on me here? But we some great battles throughout the race, and we ended very luckily on the podium. Saw at the end that Stephen had an instant point and penalty problem at the end. So, but a podium's a podium, much higher than I was expecting on the race 2, and yeah, I'm going to take that. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, we saw some great competitive racing from you. All very nice and clean. You were too wide for best part of 3/4 of a lap with somebody, and I can't remember now who it was. You're right. Your description's very, very accurate. For those watching still, and there's quite a few, don't forget to watch Jay's streams. He's a fantastic streamer. I watch plenty of him. He's got more followers than we're ever likely to get, and
don't be silly. You'll get there.
Well, yeah, right. But have you seen our stream? Have you seen our streams? Anyway, yeah, fantastic. Go and watch Jay.
No,
for the rest of the week.
yeah. It's very impressive driving, being on the front. I mean, you're sort of making light of it, but staying at the front of this lot and finishing in the top 3 in a field like this is no mean feat, my friend. And you still had to drive hard. You might not, if you'd have been focused, heaven knows what would have happened.
Yeah, I'll take that as a positive and a negative.
No, great stuff. We're at the Algarve next week in these cars. You drove there last season.
I hate it.
What?
I hate it.
Is there any tracks you like? Any tracks you like?
No.
He hates
No,
all tracks, folks.
Funny story about this one though. So I've been doing the track guides every single week.
Yes.
And I've been using that instant reset button to get next week's track guide done, which I can honestly say it's the most frustrating track guide I've ever done. I pressed that instant lap resetter 176 times because I just could not get a consistently quick lap. So I can't wait to see you lot in the booth next week when I somehow managed to hold off a 26-car grid for a second place.
Yeah. So, note to self, Alan. Don't get him into the booth next week because he'll probably be swearing the entire time. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go and, well, clearly hit the reset button quite a few hundred times again?
Yeah, Simon, Spencer, and Stephen for some absolutely fantastic battles. Daniel, Chris, Martin, Jamie, Sam, all the rest behind. There's some. It must have been a hell of a race to watch there, no matter where you were looking on the grid. But it was a workout today, and obviously you two doing such a fantastic job week after week. I mean, season 17 for a reason. Do absolutely amazingly. Keep up fantastic work. But yeah, that, and I'm now going to hit that reset button a couple more 100 times.
Yeah, I'm not sure he watches the right stream, you know. That doesn't sound like us, does it? But never mind. We'll take it.
Yeah, it's very lovely.
Yeah, you are a fantastic human, and we look forward to watching you racing at Portimao this time next week. And don't forget, again, join his streams, folks, because they're more than worth watching. Jay Corley, everybody.
Too kind. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.
Nice one, Jake.
Probably the nicest guy we ever interview.
Well,
Hands down,
we
hands
actually
down.
interview lots of nice
We
guys.
do, actually,
He's a gentle soul and fantastic driver.
Yeah.
And skilled,
Like
very
Santa
skilled.
Claus.
Putting those track guys together, that takes patience and skill and ability, because not everybody could do that.
No, it's true. It's true. Right, next into the booth, we're bringing in Jamie Wilson. Good evening.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Oh, hello.
So, Mr. Insect Camera himself, we were on board with you a lot, to be honest. It was really quite insightful, being able to see what you were doing from the outside of the car and inside of the car.
Panicking, basically.
Well, I was going to get to that. That was a frantic, hectic pair of races for you, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. I just basically was overdriving for 90% of the time. I kind of figured it out right at the end of race 2. Oh, that's how you drive it.
Yeah. But yeah, you turned up the wick in race 2. We saw Team Chimera cars side by side for the first time in since the Great Wall of Honda, I think. And it brought a tear to my eye. Simon pointed out that on the back of your car you've got a advert. I can't think of the terms anymore. A decal for St Wilfrid's Hospice, and we've already done a little plug for that. I'm sure you want to thank them for what the latest event in your life. So your opportunity to do so now if you choose to.
Yeah, very much so. So I recently had a family member going through the experience of having terminal cancer. Sadly, he's now passed away, but they at St Wilfrid's in Eastbourne did a fantastic job of looking after him and making him comfortable. It's my brother-in-law. And so, I decided, well, I've already got a reference to one of our teammates that passed away in 2009 on the car. I've got Asthma and Lung UK, which is a reference to my mum on the car. So I thought I might as well add that one as well. Complete the set, I suppose, sadly. But they do great work, and it should be stating the obvious that the work of wherever you are, the work of your local hospice sort of network is generally pretty undervalued in society, and so consider if you are able to do charitable donations and that sort of thing, consider those as an option. Obviously, this one is pertinent to my situation, my family, but they're up and down the country, they're all over the place, and other countries, I'm sure, and they're not fully funded by the NHS, so they're reliant on charitable donations. So
yes, but they haven't got a sexy image, have they? And it's a hard sell for hospices who do amazing work, and there isn't a family in this country isn't grateful to a hospice at some time.
Yeah, exactly, and they have a world of capability above and beyond what the NHS is able to provide, in specific circumstances such as that. So, and it's difficult for them as well. So the staff there are wonderful, and I'm very grateful for everything that they did in the last month or so.
So there you go, folks.
Well said. Well said indeed.
Yeah, very well said. Dig deep if you can, as Jamie's just said, because these guys need your funding and support. Because one day we'll probably all need somebody like that. But back to tonight's experience of racing. You had a busy old night, didn't you? We saw lots and lots of. You were 3 wide at one point through one of the corners.
Only 3. Felt like
they were queuing up left and right. It's been a feast for the eyes for me and Alan, sometimes for all the wrong reasons. And you guys helped try to formulate a solution to the P17 problem, which is how it will now forever be known. And we still,
the
unfortunately,
Roger problem.
Yeah. The Roger problem. And
It's just because he happened to be affected by it in the first session.
Yes.
Because it was happening to the 17th pit box, and then we didn't think it would affect any more until you get to number 34, but actually it affected number 23 for some reason, unknown why.
Yeah.
And he happened to get that in the first server, and then in the second server he happened to get number 17.
Joking, right? Okay.
So I said to him in the chat, whatever the opposite of a lottery ticket is, get that.
Yeah, totally. And Dietmar ended up the one on the corner.
Yeah, Dietmar ended up. I'm so glad he reset before we all caught him there.
Well,
because if he had done it in the middle of us coming through, it would have been a jump scare. So
yes, but yeah, I feel terrible for Dietmar. We did try everything we could to.
Yeah,
or rather, you guys did. I just followed your instructions and pressed buttons and did it badly the first time, and then recovered my situation the second time.
It's worth shouting out as well. Thanks to everyone for bearing with us while we were kind of trying to figure that out and persevering with sessions having to change and having to join 2 sessions because someone set the fuel wrong and all that kind of stuff. But I've been an admin in a situation like that where everyone just goes, sod this, I can't be bothered with this. And everyone persevered through it. So yes. the understanding that we were trying to do our best is appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. You've said everything that I'm going to say again at the end of the broadcast. It's been a pleasure watching you racing. Great to see the 2 Team Chimera cars on the same bit of tarmac for a bit. Reminded me of the Great Wall of Honda with fond memories.
Don't get used to it. It won't happen on Saturday.
Oh yeah. V8s on Saturday, folks. We've already spoken to Simon about it. We do have some drivers that cross both boundaries. You're gonna have to turn your TCR around, aren't you, next week? Because once you get used to doing the rear wheel drive again, it's gonna be a bit weird.
Well, no, I'll just drive the V8 in reverse. It's probably pretty quick in reverse. That makes it front wheel drive, and rear wheel steering. That's not that far off the V8 anyway.
Absolutely. It's gonna be an absolute treat on Saturday, folks. But I'll talk more about that in a minute. As for now, any shout outs you want to make before we let you go?
Well, I've kind of shouted out the 2 most important groups there, the hospice and everyone for understanding tonight, and of course to yourself for putting it all on and everything, and also for everything that you're doing otherwise in terms of like the Friday night V8 broadcasts and all this, that, and the other, trying to get some impetus into that as well, which hopefully, fingers crossed, is working. I know Andrew Wood wants to come back. He sadly has also just had an unexpected family death, so he's not around for race 1.
That's a shame.
It's been a pretty crap year, but but once he is back, might get 3 of us side by side. That will be dangerous. Thanks to everyone for accepting the challenge of this track. It's not often we put a new track straight on the schedule. Obviously, it helps it's free, this one, but everyone's had to learn it. And everyone, I thought, did really well. I think it's a fantastic track for racing. And obviously this bug will probably be fixed like next week or something.
I know, which is probably 1 week early, right?
Yeah, sod's law. We can always blame Spencer for selecting it anyway. But hopefully we'll come back to this one next season, and because it might end up on the actual series, maybe, who knows.
Based on
I'd like to have another crack at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great circuit.
It is.
We've had great racing tonight, and that's the track, of course, as well as the drivers. So, yeah, I'm with you. And anyway, just win the championship, and then you can have it as champion's choice again.
Yeah, it's easy.
Well, I'll pass that on to Simon because it's the pro one that gets that. But yeah,
well,
he's just got to crash into Stephen Walker a few more times, and that'll do.
Well, apparently so, yeah. But yeah, great racing, fantastically entertaining, and I'm particularly looking forward to Saturday. I think that's going to be a great race. The field's looking very healthy for V8s, and you fit right in like a hand in a glove. Jamie Wilson, everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, well done, matey.
Right. So, where have we gone? There we go. I thought I'd ejected you there for a minute. So we shall bring in.
All right, I'm gonna check. No, I'm still here.
Are you still there? Right, excellent.
Yeah, I'm
good.
still here.
That's
I'm not even dejected. Never mind the ejected.
Oh right, okay, that's good then. I often find myself dejected in various different ways.
Yes. We're
Someone
going to
who,
get some dejected politicians shortly.
well,
Because
yeah.
they're dejected because they're not elected.
We're not allowed to talk politics on this channel. I can't stand them. Anyway, good evening to Sam Blees.
I like the idea of them being on the dole.
Well, yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah. See how they like it. Sam Blees, good evening.
Good evening, guys.
Hello.
It's,
hello. Right, that was a tough pair of races for you. Where are you on track? Where's you? Where's my mouse? There we go. A tough pair of races. First race, probably the more pedestrian of the two. You had a good old fight with Pete Newman, and then fell kind of backwards towards Wobbly in that first race, and then he kept you honest for the rest of that first race, really, didn't he?
Yeah, so I was only really up with Pete and Spencer when they were fighting.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite on the pace. So they had a battle. I got near and had a bit of a look a couple of times, but really they had a bit of pace on me until the very end. Pete, I think what it is the tyres, and I think we were just overdoing them a bit. I think I overstressed them a bit and then fell back towards Wobbly, and then I think Pete did at the end when Spencer did eventually get past him, because I was gaining on him a bit towards the end as well. So yeah, fourth or whatever I was about the best I was going to do. I didn't have anything for David's pace, and Pete and Spencer were just that little bit further up the road. So it was just a case of bring it home, maximise what was there on the table.
Yeah, and then race 2 happened, and Spencer tried to kill you by using a Wobbly.
Yes, yeah, he launched Wobbly at me from 400 yards away, and straight into my driver's door.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
We were on board with you, trying to. Alan was intrigued as to whether you actually had any damage from that, and your steering looked pretty straight, but we felt that
It was not.
Yeah. Sometimes the replay stream doesn't represent well, does it? Tell us about what it was actually like.
So, it surprisingly all right after I'd got used to it. It was about 10 or 15 degrees off centre steering. A little bit down on top speed, but really only a tiny bit.
Mm-hmm.
And just more sketchy through turn 1 and turn 1, 2, 3. And then like 4 and 5, it was just much looser. So I was having to be really careful on the braking until I got really on top of it.
Yeah,
but
we
it
could see
wasn't
it.
slow. I still got it into the 49 ones, so it was just a case of, it was the time loss was much more problematic than the positions, because once the car was back up to speed, I had the pace for 5th again, or maybe 4th. I was faster than Jay, I think, slightly. I just didn't have enough time to close him down.
Yeah.
It was obviously a different format than we used to. There wasn't any of the pit stop strategy because of the various issues we encountered.
Yeah.
So damage minimization, limitation, however we want to put it. It was all right. It was quite good fun fighting through with people, and me and Jamie and Martin Shirley had a really good battle at the end for the last couple of laps, so that was good fun. But yeah, I didn't have amazing pace. Spent what would have been warm up and practice and set up finalization time discussing sessions and setup, so obviously didn't get any of that. I had like 2 laps before we actually got into qualifying. So yeah, it's all good, and hopefully come back stronger next week.
Well, it looked like your car was a handful. I've got to say, it was fairly obvious that you were having to work very hard to get that car and be quick in it. So well done, matey, because you did really well at it in the end, didn't you?
Yeah, thank you. And that's the challenging thing with these new tyres, that if you are working harder to control something, it's almost punishing you twice.
Yeah.
Because
Yes,
you're just having those little slides that are flushing
Yeah.
in the tyres, and
Wrecking
it
them
just
even
doesn't
more.
come back for a lap. You have to be super smooth for like a half a lap or a lap, and you can't, because you're already fighting the car. It's already much more on edge than it needs to be. And yeah, it was a tough outing, but it was good fun. And I mean, the track is very difficult. Like, it's not difficult to get around safely.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to race closely, because no one knows it really. I don't think anyone had driven it more than like 3 laps before, 3 or 4 days ago, really, when people started practicing.
Yep.
So getting everyone up to speed everyone, we had the usual spread of people like we were expecting, but then we also had massively different lines. Like that first race when I was chasing down Pete and Spencer, Pete's line was entirely different to what me and Spencer were doing, and half the time me and Spencer were doing different things from each other as well.
Right. Okay.
So it was really unpredictable because it isn't a track that most of us have got experience at, and that made it harder work in general.
Yeah, it can be a great leveler. Sometimes it can make the void between the really fast guys and the more developing guys even bigger, right? But I felt it was quite a balancing exercise, this one. I think you're right. All the messing around at the start, which you and Simon and Jamie obviously were critical in trying to help and make everything work tonight. So I have to thank you for that, and obviously thank the other two as well.
Thank and for your part in it as well, because we couldn't have got it with any of it set up without you. But
kidding,
yeah,
I screwed it up the first time. Nobody
we
needs to know that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you've just said it on the broadcast, but that's fine. We'll gloss over.
We'll edit that out.
No, I mean, I'm glad we had to change things up a little bit, but it was nice to be able to get a race on in roughly the format we were expecting.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone actually was disadvantaged by it, or possibly Dietmar. He towed at one point. But I mean, having towed, even if he'd got into the pit lane, if no one else is stopping, you're not getting that time back.
Exactly.
So he would have been off the back. Like it's a case of you retire halfway round rather than you drive half a race, but with no hope of catching anyone because you've got a 40-second penalty that no one else is going to have. So it was great that we got it on. It is a really fun track. It's hard work. It's not one of those that, like Watkins Glen, I did a race in the officials, and my first lap since 2 weeks ago was my qualifying lap, and it was fine because I know the track well enough that I knew it. This is not that sort of track at all. It's a much, much harder thing to learn and much harder to perfect. It's very technical in places, and there's different approaches, different setups, and you need an entirely different setup for sector 1 than you need for the second half of the lap.
Right. Okay.
And obviously you can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's just an inherent compromise there. So yeah, it's a very interesting track and it is good fun. And I'd like to see what happens when we eventually go there on officials and come back here again in the thing once this issue's been patched, because it's fun to drive. It's just hard work.
It does look fun, and one of the other racers said it took him 10 laps just to figure out which way was the right way on this track.
It's hard to learn. I find it really
Yeah.
hard to learn it. It was a bit of a struggle to get it all in the head.
Yeah.
Once it was there, it was great because then you can anticipate the corners and it flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
echo all of that.
Yeah.
No, just agreeing.
Yeah. And we got Portimao. We're familiar with that for next time round. No Big Mig. Not that he won in his own backyard. He was he didn't win at that one. Maybe he would have won here. I don't know. Where is this? Is this Spain? I can't remember.
Spain, I think.
Yeah. But it's a lovely track, Portimao. It certainly gave us some great racing last season. Are you looking forward to that one?
Yeah, I liked it. I had good pace last season on the old tyres. I made a massive mistake.
Is this where you stopped it?
No, this
okay.
is where I hideously locked it up under braking, coming over that double right-hander on the hill, and took Jay out from four positions behind, and then I got a drive-through on the last lap.
Which you can't spend. Yeah. Well, you can if you're lucky, but yeah.
Well, not Lucky Walker, he couldn't.
No, very not. Yeah.
So it wasn't a brilliant round for me last time, but I felt like I had good pace, so I think I'll find something, and I did like it. I just made mistakes, so fingers crossed I can come back a bit stronger next time.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go?
So you guys, as always, for hosting and putting it on, and we wouldn't be here without you. But it's great to see 30 cars out
or 29 or however many we had. So that was excellent. And I think the only name I didn't recognise today was Roy Mitchell.
Yep. He's new.
But yeah, good pace.
Fast.
Great to see another name.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the more people we got, the better. Oh, Matthias as well. I don't know if he's new. I saw him in practice. He was in the practice. Yeah, he was in the practice session with us on Sunday or Monday. I don't know when. But yeah, great to see new people coming in, and yeah, more of the same next week. Although hopefully with pit stops and normal.
yeah, back to the same routine again for next week. Yeah, we look forward to seeing our previous champion, Sunbleeze, back at the pointy end and getting podiums again. I think Gio drove away with some real good points in the team championship this week, regardless of how technical, difficult, and slightly crashy this track has been. But we certainly look forward to it. Sunbleeze, everybody.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Well done, Sam.
Right.
I had his work cut out tonight, did poor old Sam.
He did. He didn't have it all his own way, did he?
No.
And we now welcome Chris Dixon to the chat. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening.
Evening, Chris.
Evening, Alan.
How are you doing? Are you full of vigour for having done that race, or would you rather leave that one behind?
To be honest, I don't mind the track. Quite enjoyed it, and I got in the 150, low 150s. So
so decent lap mates around here.
But yeah, just got a bit wiped out in the second race.
Talk to us about that, because I'm not sure we saw you much delayed, but weren't sure why at one point.
Yeah, I got hit from behind going on lap 2, going into 10-1, or the hairpin part of 10-1, and then which shot me. I just missed the back of the car in front of me. And
oh no, we did see that bit. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, kept it on the track and then went round the little next left-hander down the straight. Got no warning. There's anyone beside me or anything. Next thing, I'm spun out and backwards into the barrier. So unfortunately, I had to pit and was 40 seconds behind everyone.
Right. Okay. Well, at least you weren't in P17, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Be grateful for small mercies, is the statement. So yeah, 29th in the first race, and much better in the second race. 23rd. Were you the highest? Yeah, you were highest of the work yard cars in the second race. Did you get a podium? You got a podium in the second, didn't you?
Yeah, I think Fiona's just said. Yeah, I didn't realise. I think
Boyd
she said,
and you. Yeah.
Yeah. She said it was third, so I didn't realise till I was in the interview room.
Yeah, well, you're driving steady, Chris, weren't you? I mean, you're a good steady driver. Once
Well, I was a bit annoyed in the first race because I got we've just had a look at it and with Fiona, and I shared my screen, and there's a full page of incidents all off car 66.
Right.
And I got 7 incident points, all from the second lap, and that was it. I didn't get any more.
Right. Okay.
So I wasn't in his way, and I don't think he did it intentionally, but it was just he'd been held up, ended up at the back, and then wanted to be passed.
Yeah.
And I was just unlucky that he clipped me back end and on the rear and put me in the barrier.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, well, it's a new track for a start, so
yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's racing. It doesn't really matter. Just move on. It was just annoying because I was hoping to try and keep a clean sheet, but
right. Okay. Yeah. Well, we can see how that transpires points-wise after David Johansson's asked me 16 times whether the points have been uploaded yet. But both races seem to be very, very competitive for you, particularly that second race. You made your way through a few positions along the way, And yeah, you got some donations. One massive one right at the very last minute. I mean, you must have thought, oh, 24th, that's okay. 23rd, that's brilliant.
They were all commenting on it in the chat, so I could see he'd gone in the pits, but didn't know why.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until after he explained what had happened, and unfortunately, because he's gone in and served a penalty on the last lap, he doesn't get that lap, does he? So.
No. Is that Fiona on the chat asking if the points have been uploaded? I think it is. She's in here in a minute. I'm gonna have to tell her off for that. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, a pretty good points haul for work hard, to be honest. It's gonna move. I don't know whether that'll move you up. It might do, against DB Quaso Racing. Oh no, Boyd did all right, but he didn't have a teammate tonight, did he?
Yeah, so, Boyd was in front of me on the last race.
Yes, yeah. And not by a great deal, like 4 seconds.
No, I think it was 8 at the end.
That's nothing, is it?
Well, I've got 4 on my screen, so we'll go with that.
That might
very strong target.
Yeah. You gotta have something.
It's great. Well, it's great that there's people down there at your end of the race, and you've got people to race with and compete with. You don't often see you by yourself these days driving around.
No, it's normally really good racing. So.
No, good stuff.
Yeah, we were missing Andy tonight, which he's normally
with us.
Yeah. Not sure why I haven't heard from him, but hopefully he'll be back next week.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, it's good to see Andy Littler in the field, and hopefully there's nothing wrong. He usually takes his rig wherever he goes, so it's an unusual one not to have him. So yeah, Portimao next time round. We raced there last season. Did you enjoy it last time?
Yeah, it's a good track. So yeah, I'll have to get some practice in and try and get a setup on the car. Or probably Carl will do a setup and help.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's got to do something, right? Eating pies is only one talent. But no, great racing tonight, and yeah, working on that racecraft, and being slow into the corner, fast out of the corner. Not too heavy onto the gas, and feed the power in steadily in these front wheel drive cars, especially now with the new tyre model. Did you feel the tyres being affected a lot or not?
Yeah, it is a little bit different, and I do need to sort of back off on the throttle a bit coming out the corners. You can feel it when you've got too much on your spin and the wheels coming out, and it just slows you down.
Yeah, people have been mentioning the tyres a lot tonight, so that's interesting. Yeah. They're becoming significant, aren't they?
Yeah, if the fast, very experienced guys are noticing it and mentioning it, then it's going to be equally just as difficult, obviously, for everybody else as well. And when you're trying to get your racecraft together, get your lines together, get your acceleration, your braking points together, throwing a new tyre model into the mix is not the most fun thing, is it, Chris?
No, not really. But I suppose we'll get used to it.
Absolutely. Takes a little while.
Only until it starts raining.
Thanks for that, Alan.
We've got wipers now. So
yeah. True enough. In that case, we'll look forward to seeing you at Portimao, racing around with Boyd and Arno and Fiona in that AM class, which is looking pretty competitive this season. Chris Dixon, everybody.
Guys.
Good night, Chris.
Good night.
Right then, and last up, as ever, in her usual time slot, mid-sentence, which we love, don't we, Alan? We like to get them mid-sentence.
Right, it's a sheer class of timing on your part.
I don't know how I manage it. It's the only thing I do well. Fiona Siddons, good evening.
Good evening.
So, let's talk the track first, right? Oh, let me find you on the track first. There we go. Let's talk the track. New track to the service. Very, very technical track. We've already heard from lots of them that the front half of the race and the second half of the race is like racing two different tracks. You almost want two different setups. What is it like driving that Honda around here?
It went surprisingly well. I mean, I didn't until I jumped in tonight. I hadn't put the TCR. I'd driven it in the MX-5 in the wet, but I'd never had the TCR round here because I've been too busy this last week, and it didn't connect with it to get a decent lap time. But it went well. I got 3x over the 2 races.
Ollie, that's a bit of an achievement tonight.
It is. Yeah.
We have people who drive through. So
that's pretty impressive.
Exactly the opposite end of the spectrum. And it's this track is clearly a handful just to drive around. It's clearly a handful. I would be keeping clean lines, and I could see me collecting apples of X's. In fact, I did collect apples of X's. So
it's a beautiful track, but it's very hard to.
It's technical and demanding, isn't it? You know, that's the thing. It really is, and it pulls a lot out of the drivers. It does, because you've really got to be paying attention.
Yeah, you can't. You can't be going half asleep driving this track.
And it's hard to learn. I found it tough to learn for you. I don't know about you, but it didn't fit in my head straight away. It took quite a few laps so that I was comfortable with it.
Yeah. Towards the end of race 2, I was steadily getting quicker and getting to grips with it. But
it makes a difference, though, doesn't it? When you just get that bit of feel for the place, and you can sort of anticipate, and you're confident where your lines are and everything. Just makes life so much better. You go faster, you feel better, and even though you're going faster, it doesn't feel like you're trying as hard.
No, the hardest thing for me coming in, it's like a lot of the corners has got a lot of run up on, and I didn't know how much I dare push to run out on them.
Yes,
I hadn't practiced to see where the 1X's was coming, so.
Well, you did come in well. You must have kept well in the lines. That's 3X's over those, though, because there's an awful lot of traffic. That's pretty tidy driving.
Yeah, it's very impressive, actually. Yeah. Go on.
At race 1, I got a lovely start and passed 3 or 4 cars into turn 1. Race 2, I was in 3rd gear before the wheel stopped spinning.
Really? It's a bit of a feature now, isn't it? Switching those tyres on, particularly in the Honda, as I understand it, it's very, very difficult. Where are you? Where were you, rather, in the Safe Driver Award? I was trying to figure out.
A long way down, because I had a mare last week.
Oh, did you? You're not that far down. I mean, how many races last week? 35. And you are 18th, and you're usually right at the pointy end of this one. You're really at the finite end of safe driving, and if you did only 3, given the fact that someone like Stephen Walker got himself a huge amount, 16 or something in one race, I think you've got that trophy coming your way if you continue in those sort of veins on a new track. There's other people that can learn a lot from you on how to stay clean and avoid incident points. Portimao this time next week rather. It's going to be an exciting prospect because you've been there before. It should hopefully become familiar to you quite quickly, and you can work on the technique and the lines this time, as opposed to just learning which way is left and right at the right points on the track, right?
Yeah, I just hope this time that I don't get the meatball flag and pit to repair it and come out with a meatball flag again.
Oh God, yeah, that happened. All right, well, we'll pray for better things this time at Portimao. Anybody you want to shout out?
He's a better driver now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Hey, you guys, for all the hard work, especially tonight. All of you was working to get this going with the problems what we had. Everybody who's took the time to watch us, and special shout out to Andy. Hope you're all right, buddy, and we missed you.
Yeah, we did, actually. Well said. and we hope that we see him at Portimao next time. Maybe he's the sensible one and stayed away from Navarra. But anyway, yeah, we look forward to seeing you racing next week, and it's going to be an interesting race at Portimao. Fiona Siddons, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Well done, Pete.
Thank you, Alan.
Oh God, mid-sentence. Sorry, Fee. I'll edit that out later. Don't worry. Right, Alan. It's been a. I feel like I've watched several races, especially when I watched David Johansson going through the field about 5 times in the second race. I bet people were thinking, am I in some sort of Groundhog Day? That car just passed me like 2 laps ago, and it's passing me again, and now it's passing me again. What the hell is going on? But yeah, it brought some comedy. It brought some new people to the podium that we've seen previously. So Simon Trendle gets himself up on the top spot. Jay Corley, both in the same screenshot at the minute on here, into a podium finish. Don't forget, folks.
Do you know how you put that name thing up, all the names on it? Can you stick that up?
Which one?
Do you know how you do that? You know, with all the names on, all the drivers' names on.
You mean the tower?
Yeah, well, the one that goes on the left-hand side.
Yeah. You mean like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. I want to see all the names.
Oh, okay.
See if there's anybody that I've missed egregiously.
Oh, right. Okay. In that case, yeah, absolutely. Fill your boots. Have a look at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think.
I've decided. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't being egregious to anybody.
Oh, I see what you mean. All right. Oh, for the driver of the meeting, you mean?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, I think I've got one worked out. So let's do that, shall we? Simon Trendle, he had a really good performance in both races, to be fair. However, race 2 obviously shone like a bright, shining beacon of success. Spencer McCarthy got one of the best points hauls of anybody, if not the best points haul of anybody. Then you're looking at like Daniel Mills. I mean, this is his 3rd race with us, and he's topped the Pro-Am class. That's worth shouting out to. And Chris Smith and Martin Shirley. All 3 of them had really good races.
If I had my others, I would give them a third of a vote each.
Yeah, it'd be good, wouldn't it? And then, Renee got the top Pro-Am again in the first race.
Yeah.
For me, there's a few in there, I have to say, and I've mentioned some of them already.
Yeah.
I did like what Jamie Jeffrey did in that second race. And in the first race, his sportsmanship to just wait, let PVG go, let the whole field go past him, in order to redress that position, and then to get 16 places, move up the field. PVG got up 17 places.
Yeah,
but the style with which Jamie did it was just a bit too much for me to ignore. My vote for driver of the meeting this week is going to be Jamie Jeffrey.
Yeah, yes. That's it would have got it for just the sportsmanship. The mind is fine driving. It's always clean, always classy, fantastic driving. It's always a pleasure to watch him. I think Simon deserves definitely a special mention tonight because he did brilliantly. But Daniel Mills, for me, I thought that was tremendous. Not only to get a 4th place finish, but to actually maintain that and only finish 5 seconds behind Jay. With like three of them in hot pursuit, it absolutely locked together. It was a fantastic performance by him, keeping cool under incredible pressure.
Shouldering that pressure is immense, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and in the midst of all those pro cars, just keeping his head cool, wasn't he? Really?
Yeah, I think it was dead impressive performance. No familiar drivers around you. Here we are, this new track, surrounded by people you don't know, and absolutely fantastic performance by him. But I think Mr. Smith and Mr. Shirley also did fantastic drives. They did. It was I think they all did themselves massively proud tonight, and well done to them. I think there was so many good performances. People were driving really hard. They were racing hard, weren't they? It was so close.
And on a brand new track to everybody as well.
Yes. Yeah, and it's not an easy track to learn. It's really easy to get a mistake at corner entry and find yourself turning into the wrong corner.
Yeah, and he's got a picture of Doglet on the bonnet of his car, and even in the V8s we've got Dashhound Racing, which is Stephen Phillips' team, one of my ex-teammates actually, when we were in Phantom 71. But yeah, always good to see Doglets on the liveries of cars.
Yeah, indeed.
So
and he did well tonight.
And
those three of them were fantastic. And yeah, just fantastic evening, really.
Absolutely. It's been a fun one. It's been.
I know there was a lot of pressure on you. I mean, we had a big sorting out. There was a disaster with that the glitch that caught everybody by surprise. But you dealt with it. Everybody dealt with it as usual. There was a merry community and leaping in to save our asses.
Yeah.
And people were patiently waiting, and they know that we're trying to get the thing on the air, and that's fantastic. That's we've had great sportsmanship, and the community coming together to get us on the screen, and then a fantastic race on top. What more do you really want?
I know. It's a fantastic community. Thanks to everybody in the online chat. There was loads of you. David Johansson, no thanks to you because you've already sent me a thing saying where's the results. So did Fee. So I'm disappointed. Is basically the statement I'm making. Thanks to all the racers that turned up, and thanks to you, as Jamie absolutely pointed out. Thank you for your patience and sticking with us. A couple of weeks later for this track, and it had probably been not a problem at all. As it happened, we had to launch the session a few times, and the patience of all the people viewing as well, of course. Thank you to you, Alan, for joining me in the booth and keeping this the professional broadcast that it is. Or it should be. Anyway, we'll move on. I'm looking forward to this time next week, where we can resume normal service with pit stops in the feature races, with everybody doing what they need to do at right points in the race, and no strange pit stop or pit box issues.
Yes.
I'm going to say.
Well, I think we stand a damn good chance with the drivers we've got.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I can look forward to every week. I'm sure you do. I look forward to every week because
and
you can't fail when you're firing this lot out.
Oh no, definitely not. It's just too good. So unlucky Mr. Lucky Wookie Walker, and obviously to Dietmar for getting the P17 curse.
Yeah, it's a shame there isn't nothing we can do about that.
I know. It's just the iRacing gods have smote them down, and that is just what happens sometimes.
Send him a lollipop.
Yeah, lollipops all round. Lollipops. You don't see enough lollipops anymore. Anyway, I'm going to say good night to everybody. Stay safe, everybody. Join us next week. Invite your friends to come and watch as well. Why not? And I'll hand over to Alan. Thank you all so very much, and we'll look forward to trying to entertain you next week.
Without you pushing the switches, mate, we would be nowhere. So thank you very much for initially for rectifying my screen, so they've got these crystal clear visions of the cars and all the information, which is fantastic for me. Thank you very much for doing that, and a fantastic night, ladies and gentlemen, with top quality racing, top quality racers, and I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed being here. And I'll see you next week. Night.